Who got the better first verse?
That's old school now.
Yeah, it is because it's over 20 years now.
Who
Who got the better first verse between Gorilla Zoe, Hood Niggas, and Rich Boy, Throw Some D's?
Rich Boy.
Damn, that's a good one.
I'm out on this one.
He's steady knocking.
I'm about to say that Gorilla Zoe, bro. It's like
that's hard.
Bro, you play that verse in the club. Everybody know word for word, bro.
That's facts.
Yeah.
What was the Rich Boy verse?
Shit, this nigga, he come out. He's a rich boy selling crack, nigga.
Oh, that is a good one.
Yeah,
Rich boy.
That's I don't know though, people.
Holes in the pocket lot. Still
Hood nigga hit at a time when we needed it.
He did.
He was calling somebody out, bro. I forgot who he was calling out.
Yellow, white, red, brown. That voice was
amazing.
Go with
Rich Boy. Yeah, I might go with Rich Boy on that. God damn, that's a good one.
On a certain day, bro, that Gorilla Zoe.
Yeah.
Just bought a Cadillac.
Both of them
D's on it. Yeah.
And you got to hear the old school version. You got to hear the old school version of that Gorilla Zoe. I sent it to Ken. You know how they redo it with the AI, and it sounds like an old school, like
Oh,
the Delphonics. The Delphonics or something.
They just did one for Mellow Ball.
Fire for hood niggas, dog.
Mellow's hard too.
Oh, I haven't heard that yet.
He said we bottle block.
I ain't heard of Mellow.
You cock block
Today.
Tell your girl you rap, but your CD flop.
That was slick of Jeezy.
Hey, I'm gonna have to listen.
That was slick.
Get off that.
That was slick of Jeezy. He was talking about Jeezy.
Yeah.
Was he?
Yeah. Jeezy was hot around it. Like check it. Like go back and listen to that, and then just go back and look at what Jeezy was. He was talking about Jeezy.
Gorilla Zoe took Jeezy's spot in Boys in the Hood after. Well, Jeezy wasn't really supposed to be in it.
Nah,
Jeezy quit. Jeezy quit, and they replaced him. He didn't take his spot. He quit, and they replaced him.
But he never really agreed to it either. Like it was just kind of like it was like understood.
He signed a contract. He signed a contract though. He was a part of that group.
I don't think they were telling him to come record with the group, but they always said he had a solo deal.
He signed a deal with Puff as a part of that group, but he didn't realize that he was gonna pop that hard. She's like, y'all gotta let me out of this.
He had a solo deal, bro. He never signed like as part of the group.
Yeah, I don't think he was in that group ever.
The only group I know
was Johnny Breeze said.
Yeah, he was unofficially a part of the group.
That's new to me.
He wasn't
he was a part of Boys in the Hood.
The only group that I know Jeezy did was what, USDA?
USDA.
Hey, that first album, I don't know why it had 2 hits on there, but that was about it. That white girl and that corporate thug.
Yeah, it was Start and Stop.
Corporate thug and CTE to the damn down. That's the way it's gonna be. Thug motivation. Hey, Jeezy had a run.
All right,
it's crazy. That's old school now.
Yep. Wow. The reminiscing is over. Let's begin. Okay, I got everything I need.
See, we drinking tonight, so you already know what I'm on. Boy.
Playoff time, baby.
This celebration time, Lou. We're gonna get to the topics that I'm celebrating today.
I know you celebrating Tomlin loss. I knew you had a cup poured up for that Tomlin loss.
This is the place where sports experience collide. Dead in sports. I'm your host, Kenneth Beans. Joining me on the show, we have FIFO. I'm gonna start with FIFO first since I skipped.
I know you just left me, right?
You can see him today.
FIFO, Shelton, Spike, and Nick. What up?
What's up?
Q said he'll be stopping by as well. But anyway, let us go ahead and jump into what everybody's here to hear is our reactions to everything that transpired last week. And there he is right there. Look at that.
It's the best time of the year, baby. Playoff football. This is the best time of the year, FIFO.
This is almost over.
It is,
not NBA playoff. It's the best time of the year. Wildcard weekend. Oh man. Is the NBA on right now?
Now the best time of the year for me is when we got basketball, we got baseball playoffs, and football just starting. That when we got
October.
Yes, October. October is the best month for sports.
Well, anyway, it's not the best time for the LA Chargers as They ended up
Make
taking
you
a
change his
loss
background
against the
before we get
Houston
started.
Texans. The Houston Texans took care of home field advantage by defeating the LA Chargers 32-12. Did this win restore your confidence in CJ Stroud as a star in this league? Shelton.
Dang, it's so tough.
Do you have a cape on? Is that a cape or is it a scarf?
It is a cape. It's a cape. I'm cold, man. I'm cold. But yes, it did, Ken. I'm gonna say yeah. I'm gonna say yeah, man.
Yeah, it's a cape.
CJ Stroud has won more playoff games than Justin Herbert has in a much less amount of time. CJ Stroud has won just many playoff games as Dak Prescott, Lou. So,
oh god,
in saying that, for a young man in the second year in the league to come out and perform the way they did when a lot of people felt like their backs was against the wall, he deserves his credit for that. Now it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough next week, as we already know. But for now, he did what he was supposed to do. The name of the game is handling the business you're supposed to handle. Win the games you're supposed to win, and he did that. And going forward, I think you'll see a better result from him. They look like they got some momentum. It's going to be tough hitting that Chiefs wall, but I expect them to play well in this game, if nothing else.
Based off what have you seen all season from CJ Stroud that makes you think that he's going to play well in this game against the Chiefs?
I've seen him be unsteady, but the fact of the matter remains, they won the division. Even though a lot of people can say he backed into it, but he won it regardless. No matter how you shape
division in football. The worst division in football, by the way.
Second worst.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
NFC North,
South.
Yeah, South is the worst. But the fact that he's in there and made it and won his first round game, that speaks volumes, man. And that does a lot for a young man's confidence at this level. All it is one game. You just got to win the next game in front of you and come out and do your job. Don't lose the game. That's the biggest thing. Make sure you don't turn the ball over like Herbert. What his name did? Herbert. I couldn't even think his name. He played so bad. Don't turn the ball over. Keep your offense on the field. Keep your defense out of harm's way, and win the games you can win. And that's what he did.
He did neither of those things in that for a majority of those games. What you just said,
man, he wasn't that bad. That pick. Well, let me think about that pick.
No, that second pick. I think he had two picks, or one of them. He just threw it up, and the defender he looked like he was the receiver, and he made a sideline catch.
Yeah. CJ has had somewhat of a sophomore slump. That second half was better than the first half. But how I view them is the way I viewed them throughout the regular season, right? Like CJ has regressed just a little bit, sophomore slump, but he's been good enough to Shelton's point to win the division. In terms of Justin Herbert, we knew that he had the talent. The issue was clock management and situational football from the coaching staff. Obviously, that has gotten better. They've gotten to the playoffs. But realistically, with the Chargers, when I watch them all year, including this game, they're just devoid of outside weapons. Like they're not explosive enough. And here's the thing, right? Like, first and foremost, we know Greg Roman offenses are not necessarily explosive. They're not vertical down the field, 30, 40-yard gains. We know that. And I'm not saying that they got to go get a home run hitter like that because they're not going to utilize him like that. But Ladd McConkey he's a baller, right? Like he is legit. He was deserving of where they drafted him. But outside of that, like, who do they really have? Like they were a playoff team because they have really good talent on the defensive side, and situationally they were way better. But Herbert, to take those progression steps, right? Like, he needs more weapons. When he did have Keenan Allen, even though he wasn't healthy, you know what I'm saying? Didn't he throw for close to 5,000 yards? You know what I'm saying? So we know he has the talent. It just hasn't been able to be consistently unlocked. Obviously, the head coach and the staff is there. So I like Herbert. I don't love Herbert. You could win with Herbert, right? So it's going to come down to the draft and free agency. I still view Herbert the same. Can you win with Herbert? Yes. Can you win with CJ Stroud? Hell yes. But Stroud just need more mango seasons, man. Like he nice, but he just had a sophomore slump. We'll see how he moves on from that.
For me, confidence in Stroud, it's hard to. I get somewhat what Sheldon is saying. Like, Stroud is so early in his career, you don't really know what kind of QB he's going to be just yet. He did play a hell of a second half after laying a fucking egg that first. Like, he didn't score a touchdown until the last minute of the second quarter. Like, they were going to be shut out point wise, period, until he started just saying fuck it, I got to do something because they only up by 6. They're not even up by a touchdown.
Right.
And then that goes on the other side with Herbert. They were dominating that first half, and they only came away with 6 points, and they were in the red zone at least I think 2 or 3 times, and they got a fumble on the first play offensively for the Texans. So it's just kind of like, to me, this is what I've always had criticism with Herbert is like, yeah, he does all these great stats, but is he a winner? Can he win you a game, the big game? And most of these games that he's done, he's been shitball. Like, he threw 3 picks. He threw 3 picks all season, and then he threw 4 in one in his first game.
Nick, let me ask you this.
That's crazy.
Well, hold on,
a playoff game.
Nick, let me ask you this, right? Like, how good does Burrow would look without Jamar Chase and or T. Higgins? You know what I'm saying? Like, he himself, Herbert, we know he has the talent to be a really good quarterback in this league. He don't have the help that's necessary. He don't have a guy that's equal to him on the outside or at tight end.
But my thing is, it goes to your point, bro. Like, he had talent though. He had Keenan Allen. He had a young Mike Williams. He's had a loaded roster before. Granted, it was under Brandon Staley, and everybody pushed that blame on the Brandon Staley. But there were games
wasn't pushed. It was absorbed.
Again, they laid it just like how they laid the blame on Matt Eberflus for Caleb Williams' shitty year. They did a lot of that with Justin Herbert. But then it's like, at this point, bro, you're already getting paid. And you know how I feel about when quarterbacks get paid, bro. There's no excuses. Like, you getting paid, so that's why you're devoid of talent, because they had to let everybody else go because we trying to pay you. Yet you want to show up and throw 4 picks when we up by 2. We up by 6 points, and you can't add. That's my thing. Is like the 2 playoff games he's played, he hasn't been able to put points on the board to end the game. Like in the game again, in the playoff game against the Jaguars, bro, you just needed 1 more score and you win the game. In this game against the Texans, bro, you probably only need 1 score in that first half to make things different. And you throw
who looks nice out there? Who's getting separation out there?
Because I know that second half Herbert was awful. I can point to him for all of that. He threw some really bad.
That first
half, couldn't we look at coaching for that?
No, because he overthrew. He overthrew McCarthy there was a cross route that McCarthy was going on. If he throws a perfect ball or a better ball, he catches that and runs into the touchdown for an end zone for a touchdown.
What about the rest of the game? Rest of the first half? The
rest of the first half, bro, it's on. I think again, they were in the red zone, so they schemed up enough to go up down the field, but they couldn't punch it into the.
But they couldn't scheme enough to score a touchdown.
Again, they won 11 games, and I'm thinking he can do something in one of these games. I'm not gonna. To me, I can't say coaching because they won 6+ games than they did last year with a new head coach. So you can't tell me that the coaching let you down when he put you in this position to win.
No, what I'm asking is why didn't? Because Shelton pointed out the Chargers dominated, and you even said it earlier. The Chargers completely controlled the first half, but not enough to put points. You also said they got into the red zone. You didn't give me a clear answer, but I know the answer is no, that they didn't scheme enough plays to get them into a position to score points when the Texans were struggling. The second half is all on Herbert, and I'm not absolving him of anything. Those were awful. But that first half, they had a chance to put that game away while Stroud was struggling.
They did.
But my thing is the same thing that I was saying about Burrow is like, again, once you get paid, I don't like. It's not on me to come to give you an exact reason why they didn't score in the red zone, but you should score in the red zone.
The coach is supposed to be the reason. That's the guy that you've been praising all season.
The coach is the one. Yeah, the court. Well, we know what Greg Roman is. He ain't doing shit. But to me, you can't place this on the coach because we've seen Herbert do these with multiple coaches. So it's like, who's like it gets to the point like we talk about.
Seen him do what?
not make the winning plays or not doing enough to get you in a position to
he
win.
said not do it. Yeah,
exactly.
We're doing a lot. We're doing a lot just to absolve the fact that, like, bro, this is just who the Chargers have always been historically. The Chargers have always been like just cursed, bro. Like they always gonna get in their own way. We can go to the X's and O's. Greg Roman is not really a playoff coordinator. You know, it's Jim Harbaugh's first year. Herbert's kind of a loser. You know what I mean? He's a very talented loser. But at the end of the day, I mean, no, he's a really talented loser. But that didn't really. Philip Rivers was a talented loser too, and he balled out for them. But it's the Chargers, dude. The Chargers don't do shit. This is just how the organization has always been. There's nothing. I am proclaiming right now. There is nothing they can do. There is nobody they can add. There's no coach that they can go get. There's no QB they can go get. Nigga, that shit is over with, bro.
No. Q. You're being hyperbolic. You're being hyperbolic. Number one, hold on.
I'm being real.
No.
They had Philip Rivers, who way better than him. They had Darren Sproles, Monty Toomer. They had LaDainian Tomlinson. They shit.
And Peyton Manning and Tom Brady era, bro. Like there was not going to be many. That means a lot. How many rings did Tom Brady?
Big Ben won two. Big Ben won 2 rings in that era too.
Eli Manning.
Big Ben won. Eli won. Peyton
Manning won
Tom
2.
Brady won. Who else won?
Aaron Rodgers.
He won.
Drew Brees. I'm
just get one.
One is better than one.
Yeah, one.
One is better than none.
Just get one.
Here's the thing that I think it is with Herbert.
Chicago went to one.
Herbert is just as good as someone like Troy Aikman, but he needs the offensive line that Dallas had. He needs Michael Irvin. He needs Emmitt Smith. He needs all of these things to be good, to be effective. That's not taking away from his talent. It's just saying Greg Roman can't be the person calling plays for Herbert and us expecting him to win. Herbert did not show up in this game, and he has to show that he's a better quarterback. And that has to happen, one, with Harbaugh hiring a better offensive coordinator. Greg Roman not going to be able to do it. The NFL is figuring him out. Like that little bullshit that you do with the running plays and the lack of design that you have to get receivers open, that has to be better. Yes, we can blame Herbert for a lot of this, but also it falls on the coaching staff when Harbaugh is like, oh, he's the best person ever, and I think he's one of the top quarterbacks. No, that's just not true. He needs help. He needs help just like Troy Aikman needed help, and just like other quarterbacks who are good, not great, need help. Like Herbert, we've seen the skill set. We know what he can do, but he doesn't have the capability to carry a team like one of the top quarterbacks in the league, Mahomes, Jackson, Allen.
But Nick, I'm all the way there with you because I'm like, bro, you up 27-0. Like, exactly. I'm not hearing shit. I'm not hearing nothing else. Mm-hmm. I said after Kyle Shanahan blew that shit, he will never win a Super Bowl, and he ain't won one since. When he blew it against the Falcons, I'm like, that's it. I don't need to see nothing else. Because when you blow a lead like that, that's mental, bro. Yeah, that's mental, and that means to me, you don't clutch up in clutch situations. And you can't teach that. There's nothing that they can go get organizationally that is going to make this work. Justin Herbert, to me, I'm proclaiming it. I'm willing to be hyperbolic. He's a talented loser. Like, he's going to be really good. He's going to have 5,000-yard seasons. But when it comes to the playoffs, I don't see none of that shit happening. And if I'm wrong, I'll be the first one to come here and say I'm fucking wrong. But I don't think I'm going to be wrong.
Hold on. So to go off of that point, and we in the playoffs now, kids. So the regular season over. I don't have to be mild-mannered no more. If Herbert and them don't win a playoff game next year, if I'm Jim Harbaugh, I call up the Vikings and I make a trade for JJ McCarthy.
They're not giving him up. They're not giving him up, Nick.
Don't even entertain it, y'all.
Nick, they're not giving him up.
I'm letting them go because I can restart. I can restart the rookie thing because at that point JJ will be going into his 3rd year. I'm letting the nigga go because, bro, what we paying you for? What we paying you for?
You gonna get Tyreek Hill?
Tyreek Hill is who you get. That's what I was gonna say.
Thank you.
The last thing you need, y'all want Tyreek Hill on all them white girls. Y'all niggas is crazy. Do y'all see what y'all saying, bro? Y'all want Tyreek Hill in LA? Come on, bro.
As long as he can pay the child support, that's all that matter.
All right, so Nick, put the cup down. We need to move on.
Real quick, more than anything else, though, we need to give credit to DeMeco Ryans for holding them in this game because, man, like y'all said, they were getting dominated, man, until the second to the last possession of the half, and to only be down 6-0. That's
defense.
You go tell your team.
The
Yeah,
fact-
you go tell your team like, look, y'all done held it together. All we need to do is score, and we up. And they did just that. And after that, they had all the momentum going for the rest of the game. The defense,
Shelton,
confidence through the roof.
the fact that DeMeco is a defensive coach and he made the defense step up to win this game speaks volumes to how good he is in this league. To me, I think he's a really underrated coach. And to that, I will say, like, Harbaugh thinks that Herbert is a lot better than he is. He's going to need, as the head coach, a much better OC in order for Herbert to be successful.
Question.
Otherwise, we'll get to the first round of playoffs.
Greg Roman is his homie, though. That's his homeboy.
Hey, man, like sometimes you got to tell your homie, bro, you ain't cutting it.
Question, and then we're going to move on. Let's be brief. Do you guys think that Harbaugh really believes that, or he's just saying that?
I think he did until this playoff game.
So he didn't say that after the playoff game. He said that before.
No. He said that, like he said going into the season, that he thought Herbert was the best quarterback in the league. After he seen him throw 4 picks in this playoff game, I'm sure he's reconsidering that.
Okay, cool. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. Let's go to another the hater segment. Lamar Jackson. Actually, it's a bit of praise, man. I think we should be celebrating what we saw with the Ravens. Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens demolished the Pittsburgh Steelers at home 28-14. No surprise to anyone on this panel because we all picked the Ravens. What should Tomlin do about the QB situation going into next season? Nick, I got to give you some props, bro, because I know this ain't the question you wanted to ask. But I think the question you wanted to ask, I put the rest, at least for the time being. So let's deal with the QB section.
Ken. The hate gonna come.
It's coming.
I want y'all to talk. I want y'all to talk first because I'll sweep it up later. Y'all go ahead and talk. We'll start with Q since he said they was gonna win the division and do some more shit.
I said they win the division too.
They collapsed. Dude, I think you gotta kind of ride with Justin Fields. I mean, they lost 5 in a row. I think that's the definition of a collapse. But depending on how you look at it, like I was saying last time, man, they went into the season. Everyone expected this team to win 6 games, 5 games, 7 games, right? In that range. They expected it to not get to the playoffs. They didn't see anything good for this team. This team got to 10-3 with Russell Wilson getting the switch. Everyone said, oh, man, at that time, you had people saying, Tomlin, coach of the year. Oh, my God, they finally did it. This is the year. I thought the team was a great team, and I still think it is a great collection of talent. But what happens, I mean, I think that they really just caught bad breaks towards the end of the year where you lost 5 key defensive players going into the Philly game. You lose Pickens going into that game. You know, they rested Pickens until the Kansas City game. But, dude, in 11 days where you've lost 6 key players, you got to play the Eagles, the Baltimore Ravens, and then you play Kansas City on Christmas Day. That's a gauntlet of a schedule going down the stretch. Hold on. That's not bail. That's just real. You lost 6 key players like Deshaun Elliott. You lost
11 days.
Players. Yeah, in 11 days, dude. They lost key players. You can't expect them to go into it and win all them games.
The Lions lost their whole defense.
You know, I mean, at the end of the day, though, I haven't even finished because the problem is that I think they had a lot of bad breaks and people lost context of how far, once again, the team overachieved. People want to coordinate Mike Tomlin, and I think people want to see Mike Tomlin get a ring, like really, really bad. But we jumped the gun again by not keeping shit in context. The team overachieved. And that doesn't negate the fact that it was a piss poor performance on Saturday. But dude, there's just a lot going on within the organization that I feel like people are going to gloss over and just throw at Mike Tomlin's feet, which a lot of it is fair, but a lot of it to me is it's just not within the actual context of the season. People thought this team was trash, and you get to the playoffs against Baltimore, and you just shit the bed, man. I think you got to go in next year, Justin Fields, see what he has, either open that book or close that chapter, depending on how he plays, and then go from there.
Nah, look, my thing is this. We know that Russ is cooked. Everybody said let Russ cook. Russ is well done.
Are you believe that for real?
Yes, I believe that. And the reason why, look, I didn't necessarily believe that in Denver, but I believe it now. And Sean Payton saw it and he knew he couldn't win with it. The issue with Russell Wilson is he's not able to get to third, fourth reads. It's touchdown, check down, that's it. And then he's not mobile enough because the thing is that when Russell Wilson had success with Seattle, he had the mobility to create. Is his arm cooked? No, he still throws one of the best deep balls in the game. Pause. He still throws one of the best long balls in the game. The issue is he doesn't have the mobility to get to those reads because he wasn't reading those in the pocket. And he's still not reading it in the pocket however many years later. And that's an issue for any head coach, any OC, because look, let's be honest. At bare minimum, you got to get to your third read. You got to get to your third read.
But FIFO, the third read is Van Jefferson. Like, what
doesn't matter though. Like it does. It does matter.
Have you seen Van Jefferson play?
No, but FIFO, it does though. Steelers fans, please chime in.
They hate.
Then why the hell? So why can't we say the same thing about Justin Jefferson? I mean Justin Herbert.
Because Justin Herbert's been up 27-0. If the Steelers were up 27-0 and then they lost this game, I'm like, yo, this is all on Mike Tomlin.
Justin Herbert has the size prerequisite to play the position, or what the prototypical size that you want at that position. He has the arm. Russell Wilson is not a shell of himself, but he doesn't have the mobility to overcome what he always lacked.
I just think that's a lazy
issue.
I just think that's a lazy.
How's that a lazy take?
I think it's
lazy the film.
I don't think you've been watching the film. I don't think you watched the film.
I am watching the film. He don't get to the third read.
Broderick Jones don't let him get to third read. He snaps the ball. He's getting sacked within 1 second. And then when he puts the ball, and people are like, wait. When he puts the ball when he puts the ball in Pat Fryermuth's hands on Christmas Day, Pat Fryermuth fucking fumbles, and it's 17-24. And then KC goes on avalanche downhill, and now they're spanking the Steelers at home. In Baltimore, the only game that game was
that shit don't matter to you. If Russell Wilson is your starting quarterback, you're not a championship contender. As simple as that.
That's Justin Herbert either.
Simple.
That's
okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
I don't think
Justin Herbert or Justin Fields.
That's not true.
Or Fields. I agree.
I was talking about Herbert.
Either one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Herbert, I know why Shelton said Herbert because I mentioned him in this conversation. I agree, Shelton. Justin Herbert is that we can't consider him a championship level quarterback right now. You know what I'm saying? CJ Stroud is still to be seen. He's still on the up and up.
It's only four quarterbacks at a championship level, right?
Right. I don't think you have to be like this otherworldly QB. I just think I think the Chargers are just cursed. I think the Steelers.
Okay, that's fine.
You can have a team that can get you to victory. I think a team victory is very much so possible in Pittsburgh. We've seen that with the team in 2017, like the Eagles. We've seen that happen, where all you have to do is just get hot for a run.
When's the last time that the Steelers won a championship?
Giants too.
What year?
All right, in 2000.
It was a long time, FIFO. Before you go, Spike, what are your thoughts, Shelton? What do they need to do with the quarterbacks?
Well, first of all, I think they need to move on from Pickens. I'll say that. I know that's not the quarterback question, but move on from Pickens. And I thought about that long and hard, man, at first until pause. But yesterday before that game, I was thinking like you take a flyer on Sam Darnold to bring in another veteran.
The Steelers?
Yeah. The only reason I say that is because Mike Tomlin, he threw the ball around. I don't like Sam. We know how I feel about Sam Darnold. But Mike Tomlin could use that on that team to throw the ball around a little bit. But
that's crazy.
Was that before or after you? Keep going.
It was before. Kid, because I was like, I knew he was gonna be himself. I had no doubts he'd revert back to himself. But I'm thinking the only thing that can keep him going at this point would be a Mike Tomlin, a coach like a Mike Tomlin that kind of help him out.
But that goes to my point, Sheldon. And when y'all trying to get a black man to come save everything, give him mediocre ass talent like Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, and now you even talking about Sam Darnold to come in here. All of these years, even with an old Ben Roethlisberger, we've been asking Mike Tomlin to come through, win in the playoffs, and do these things. And he's had trash ass quarterbacks. We don't ask that from any other head coach in this league. Like now we got Justin Fields out here from the first part of the season, he did okay. And we got fucking Russell Wilson out here, and you want him to go win playoff games with a team who Mike Tomlin coached up to 10 wins. That's insane. And I think Mike Tomlin, to the original question that you asked, Ken, it says a lot about Tomlin that he's even had this team in this position where we're spending $4 million at the quarterback position. No other team in the league is doing it. Everybody else is spending 20, 30, 40 million on a quarterback. We asking him to go figure this shit out with Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. It ain't fair to Mike Tomlin. I know Nick gonna have a problem with this, but the real answer to this question is the Steelers need to get a fucking quarterback. They need to quit trying to patch that shit together. I don't know who. It ain't my job. I'm not their GM. But they need to figure that shit out and quit putting Tomlin out there with people like Justin Fields and people like Russell Wilson and people like an old-ass Ben Roethlisberger and expect him to win games. Even though they did that to him as a black head coach, he's still like, I'm still going to win games and go to the playoffs. And then people like Nick like, oh, well, you went to the playoffs. You got to win now. Like, no, nigga, I ain't had a quarterback since Ben Roethlisberger was in his prime. That was 25, 30 years ago.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Quick question.
That is crazy.
Let me rephrase.
How are they supposed to get a quarterback? How are they supposed to get a quarterback?
I got
Bruh,
you.
That's not on me, and that's not on Mike Tomlin. That's on the GM and the owner. Y'all need to figure that shit out. I go out here and I do my job every week.
I got you.
Hold on. Let's
win over 10 games.
Go get Joe Milton from New England.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Bro, I just don't
in the same
understand.
spot, bro.
Why are we punishing Mike Tomlin for winning? I don't understand that.
Thank you.
I really this is the most asinine shit I've heard in the NFL is that he's winning too much. What the fuck? And then if he went 4-12, that was the over, if he went 4-13 or something, then it's get him out of here and let's go get Mike Vrabel. And it's just like, I don't understand. On one side, we can't have it both ways here. You can't give me Scotty Miller and Van Jefferson and then tell me that Russell Wilson is the problem, and then have Broderick Jones and these terrible O-linemen like Dan Moore who can't hold anybody back. And then the defense is not playing because half the team got fucking flu. It's just a mess.
So two things. Tweet Open Door said FIFA is called trades. Who is trading a franchise QB? Nobody's trading a franchise QB. Tweet Open Doors. That's number one. Hey, Jerry Jones wants Dak. That's crazy. That's something different. And then here's the other thing. When I was watching this Steelers team, right, and just overall, regardless of whatever the catalyst is to them making the playoffs, whether it's the greatness of Tomlin, the defense, whatever it is, right? What they are the mid-2000s Atlanta Hawks. They're talented. They're good enough to make the playoffs, but they're not a championship contender. And when you are stuck in purgatory like that, I don't disagree, Spike. I don't disagree. I'm a Tomlin guy. I'm not. My name is not Nick, Mr. Disrespect. That's not my name. My name is FIFA 24/7. I'm keeping it real 24/7. They are stuck in purgatory. They're good enough for whatever reason that you want to say that they are, whether it's defense, Tomlin, whatever have you. They're good enough to make the playoffs, but they're not a championship contender. And when you're stuck there for all these years, guess what happens when you draft mediocre talent because you're not drafting at the top, right? And then because of the success, you don't have a lot. You're starting to pay guys. TJ Watt got paid. Alex Highsmith got paid. Who the old guy that's on the line as well, he got paid. Minka got paid. There's a lot of people that got paid. So you don't have the financial flexibility to just go splurge in free agency. So they are stuck in purgatory. And all I'm saying is that the Steelers need to make moves to – you have to reset.
Because you're not wrong,
because this is what's going to happen next year.
That's not Mike Tomlin's job. Mike Tomlin's job is to go out there and win 9 to 10 games a year, and he's done that. And people like Nick are giving him criticism because he doesn't have a quarterback because he wins 9 to 10 games. And I see the chat saying, okay, where is he supposed to get a quarterback from? That ain't his job. It's the GM's job. It's the owner's job. That's on them. Y'all bring me a good quarterback. Can I just want
to read this real quick, and then I'll hand it to you.
Because I was hoping you
would bring it up. This season, since week 15, have not had a lead at all in any of their games played. The Steelers' defense in the last 6 playoff losses have allowed 38 points per game, over 415 yards per game, and have allowed 18 passing touchdowns with only 1 interception.
And that's where I'm going to, because I do agree with Lou that a GM's job is a GM's job. You're supposed to bring in talent. Since Big Ben, they've only drafted Kenny Pickett as a quarterback, and everybody knew going into that draft class, like he was not it. But the Steelers are the
quarterback in Philly.
The Steelers are the Steelers. They're not going to. The Steelers are similar to like the AFC North. Really kind of moves very similarly when it comes to how they don't move off of draft picks. Like they don't trade up. They don't do a lot of stuff. They stay in their spot regardless, and they're just gonna pick who they get. And the Steelers they're not going to fire Mike Tomlin because they've had 3 coaches in the last 50 plus years. So they just going to stay stagnant. My criticism of Tomlin isn't about Tomlin. It's about the Steelers. Because to me, if Tomlin was coaching somewhere else, I think he would be a lot more successful. However, he's coaching for the Steelers. And they're fine with, or at least they're showing that they're fine with being relevant enough, but not great enough. Because they would have made moves on the roster to do something if they really wanted to compete, especially after Big Ben. But my main thing, as far as the one criticism I do have with Tomlin, he's supposed to be a defensive head coach. The stats that Ken just brought up shows that, one, his defense is getting old and they can't do what they used to do because you're averaging 30 plus points giving up. That says a lot. And also, if you're talking about the money FIFO, they're the only team, I believe, that has more money on their defense than offense. Like, the year that Big Ben got hurt, I think, with his elbow, the year that they traded for Mika was the year that Big Ben got hurt. They traded their first round pick for Mika Fitzpatrick. And that's when I came on here and I was like, what the fuck is they doing? Why would you do all that shit? Because I told y'all about trading for DBs and mostly safeties. The shit don't mean nothing. It don't help you win. Ask Atlanta, ask the Chargers, ask Pittsburgh. It don't mean nothing. That was the year they were supposed to suck to get a high draft pick for a QB. You see the Bengals do it. You see the Ravens trade up to get Lamar. You've even seen the Browns suck enough to get a high draft pick, even though it doesn't work out for them, but they still are able to do that. Until the Pittsburgh Steelers are trying to do that, they're not trying to win. So that's the reason why I'm like, bro, we talk about this team but Bomani Jones said it perfectly on this podcast. He's like, we talk about the Steelers like they're a championship, like, organization and stuff like that. Them championships was in the 70s. You know what I'm saying? There's only a few niggas that's still alive that even remember those days. So like between now, like, yeah, they won 2 titles since then, but it's been hella long since then. So to me, my thing is they already came out and said they're not firing Tomlin, and as far as the answer to the question, as far as the QB situation, they have to go with just Justin Fields at this point. Because like Q said, bro, you lost 5 straight and you didn't have a lead in any of those games. And that's going against the Bengals, who Shelton and others have said were not a good team this year. And you lost that game at home. Because like, to me, it's like you have no other choice, but because this free agency class ain't got no QBs coming out. The draft class, if you're not picking the top 3, you're not gonna get no good one unless you're taking a reach. So you just got to stick with what you got and then wait till next year.
You would take Justin Fields over Sam Darnold?
Yes,
I think it's better because if you go with Justin Fields, it's a win-win. If you're Tomlin, you go into that season. No, I'm gonna tell you why it's a win-win. You go into that season where, in Spike's perspective, it'd be a miracle, but the miracle happens and he's magically a good quarterback, right? That's one win. And then on the other side, he's terrible and you get a top 5 pick. And then if you're Tomlin, you go into that season being like, bro, I know y'all are cheap, because Omar Khan and Dan Rooney, ever since the first Rooney died, they haven't been aggressive and their scouting and their prospects haven't been good. And the reason why it can't just be a Tomlin thing is because Omar Khan has a job to do at GM. And the GM job that he's done, it hasn't been bad. But, dude, you go into the season, like I'm saying, with Van Jefferson and Scotty Miller as your second and third option. Pickens is going to get bracketed every single game. They're going to double him every game. And you're expecting Pat Freiermuth to beat one-on-one every single time. That's not a good recipe for success, especially when Russell Wilson can't see over the line. He has a Drew Brees line of vision where you have to be all timing routes. So if you don't even have the people who can get separation, you're setting your quarterback up to fail. And even when Justin Fields was in there, he only scored 3 touchdowns in 6 weeks. So it's like we're talking about structural issues. the 49ers and the Eagles still find ways to pay people, and they are in either the Super Bowl, NFC championships every other year. You know what I'm saying? They're in contention. They're in the playoffs. And yet they can still go get Saquon Barkley. They can still pay for premium left tackles. They can still make trades for McCaffrey's. And the Steelers are over here just like, let's just wave the towel and hope that the 70s wins us a fucking ring. That's just not going to happen.
They don't want to owe nobody. They don't want to owe nobody. They don't want to give up draft picks. That's what I'm saying. Like
they got to change that philosophy, Nick.
But until they don't, like, they just gonna be where they are. That's why I'm fine with it. Like, yeah, keep Tomlin in there. This is gonna be, hey, Lou, we gonna run this back next year. Like I always say,
they gotta get
aggressive.
Win
10 games. He gonna get y'all hyped. He gonna get y'all hyped up for the regular season like he always do, and then he gonna lose early by hella.
I agree with Q in the sense of the philosophy needs to change, but I only agree with that in the sense of the quarterback. They need to figure out how to get better quarterbacks into their system. They haven't drafted or had a good quarterback since Ben Roethlisberger was there. I'm not blaming it on Mike Tomlin. I'm blaming it on the system, the Steelers, and the GM. He's not
an excuse for everything.
It is that simple. Because these teams have been very good and gotten to the playoffs consistently year after year.
They haven't.
With Mike Tomlin.
They haven't. They have not been good enough, bro.
Yeah, and then
I ain't saying good enough. I'm saying they make it to the playoffs.
You said very good.
They've been good enough to make it to the playoffs and for Mike Tomlin to not have a losing season. If the Steelers were like, okay, we're going to make sure we find you a good quarterback, then it would be different. They haven't took that commitment on.
No.
Great quarterbacks don't be under a rock, though.
Yeah, people find them. On top of that, the Cardinals found Kyler Murray. If the Steelers had Kyler Murray, they probably would be more successful.
Hell no.
The Steelers not even trying.
He was the number one pick, Lou.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Luke, the thing that Mike Tomlin has to do is have a losing season. Once he has a losing season, we could talk about this. But for Mike Tomlin has shown that he cannot develop quarterbacks because he didn't develop Kenny Pickett at all. And he also can't capitalize on quarterbacks because he didn't capitalize on Big Ben.
But that's fine though. No, he did capitalize because he won a championship with Big Ben. He won a championship with Big Ben.
No, FIFA.
But hold on. Tomlin is a CEO type of head coach, bro. He is not Sean Payton.
How's that working out?
What do you mean? He makes the playoffs with mediocre talent every year. He elevates the talent on his squad.
But 100%. One last point, Ken. We talk about you said he did capitalize on Ben Roethlisberger. Did Mike McCarthy capitalize on Aaron Rodgers?
Yes.
No, he did not.
He won a Super Bowl.
People always talk about Mike McCarthy didn't in that Green Bay run. They should have won. No, they said they should have won more. They should have won more titles because if you look at that Steelers roster when Big Ben was in his, it's not like Big Ben was super old with Mike Tomlin. It's not like. Hold on, let me finish. Y'all had a long time to talk. Let me finish. It's not like Big Ben was old the whole time that Mike Tomlin was there. He was there for the 3 Bs. Can you remember that nickname? It was Big Ben, it was AB, and it was Le'Veon Bell, and they ain't do shit.
But shit. Like I can tell you every single game and every single season where Bell was hurt, Brown was hurt. But shit, your team, Burfict knocked AB out. And y'all knocked AB and Ryan Shazier out the fucking play. Y'all like Ryan Shazier.
What about that year? What about that year that they lost? What about that year they lost to Jacksonville?
I love you bring it up because Ben threw a pick on the Pittsburgh 20-yard line in the first quarter, and then in the second quarter he fumbled at the 50-yard line.
Guys, y'all act like winning Super Bowls is fucking easy.
It's not easy.
The shit is winning.
That's why McCarthy
is an accomplishment.
That's why McCarthy was not a failure with Aaron Rodgers to this point.
But then why don't if you're saying that, then why don't we look at Mike McCarthy the same way that we look at Mike Tomlin?
I don't know why they don't look at him the same way.
Because it's situational football. No, it's not even a success. He's won 12 games damn near every year that he's a head coach. It's situationally where we nitpick at Mike McCarthy. We don't nitpick at the offense. We don't nitpick sometimes at the play calling because we have to nitpick at something. But the play calling, the play design, situational football is his Achilles heel. And that's, in my opinion, if you're going to be a head coach in the NFL, that is what you have to be elite at if you're going to win at a high level.
We're spending a lot of time on a team that's not even in the fucking playoffs anymore.
Yeah, let's talk about the black man one.
What I'll say is that there are a lot of issues that Tomlin will be stuck in purgatory because the organization doesn't do enough to get him pieces he needs. This quarterback situation is a hot mess, and I don't know what they do. I'm inclined for them to just try to see what they can do with Justin Fields if he managed to learn something from Russ at all. Russ proving that he wasn't able to do what he needed to do to get an extension of a contract. Who knows what they're going to do? Also, I think the thing is in regards to, I was talking to my father-in-law about this when he was over, and we as fans and the fans got every excuse to be irate. They turned against Bill Belichick. They just turn against people. They turn against their team when they're not doing what they want to do. But I think, Nick, you make a very valid point. These fucking Super Bowls that everybody are so calling themselves teams that win Super Bowls, they were back in the day when they were like fucking 5 or 7 teams, just like the damn Cowboys and all these other organizations. So they're holding on to old things that doesn't even exist in current fandom livelihood. So anyway, my thing is Tomlin does just enough to win to keep them in the situation, and that's the issue. But organization, we don't know when they meet at the beginning of the season, when they say, what do we expect to win this year? What are our expectations? We don't know. We don't have privy to any of that information. And as long as he's meeting those, then that is what it is. So what is the organization saying? When they gave him an extension, they're saying that this is our guy. When they came out and said we're not going to fire him, they said this is our guy. When they put a fucking no trade clause in the contract, they said this is our guy. Right. Yeah, everybody in the chat, y'all are more than welcome. Everybody in this program, y'all more than welcome to keep having this argument. But the organization have fully committed to it, and it's just like, what are we going to do? But keep having the same discussion.
Which is why I'm changing my whole discussion on Mike Tomlin as far as him getting up out of there to where it's just more like, let's hold him to the same standard. That's all I've been trying to do. Same standard as Mike McCarthy. You know
Dragon Knight, yeah. Dragon Knight, their standard is a Super Bowl. That was years ago.
Yeah, that's not the standard anymore. If it was, he would be out of there.
Right. Chuck Knowles got 4 of them. Bill Cowher got 1. Mike Tomlin got 1. All of those Super Bowls that everybody's talking about as a standard, that was in the 70s. The Dallas Cowboys Super Bowls, that's their standard, that was in the 90s. The Patriots standards would be Brady and Belichick. That is gone. So, no, those are not the standards anymore. It hasn't been the standard since the 70s.
It's just marketing, Ken, and people people fall for branding because they think that like people say, oh man, Mike Tomlin didn't he only won because he had Bill Cowher's players, as if Bill Cowher didn't only win 1 and then the next season went 8-8 and retired. And it's just like, it's ridiculous. People are calling for Arthur Smith's job because they think it's bad. He's terrible.
But what about the team that won? How about Lamar Jackson? Well, we're gonna get to Lamar and Allen when we preview what's next. We ain't gonna talk about Sean Payton losing. I guess not.
I was gonna say, kid, I was. That's the reason why I'm drinking today. Because if you would have told me, like, Sheldon, if they told me at the beginning of the season, look, the Bengals ain't gonna make the playoffs, but Mike Tomlin and Sean Payton gonna get blown out both their games, I'll be like, hey, sign me up.
Hey, Nick, as soon as FIFA said Sean Payton knew you couldn't win with him, I was like, well, shit. Like, I see the same damn results and different.
Hey, kid.
And me and Nick both looked at the TV at the same
results. Time. Y'all need my glasses, bro, because I don't know what the hell y'all watching.
Whoa. Wait. Didn't Russell Wilson lose this weekend? And didn't Bo Nix lose this weekend?
Yes.
Okay.
Russell Wilson didn't make the playoffs in the Broncos. Did Russell Wilson make
I'm talking about this year,
Rose.
Both quarterbacks went to the playoffs and lost.
I understand. All I'm saying is that Russell Wilson for Sean Payton wasn't the guy. And looking at what Bo Nix did this year, everybody wrote off the Broncos at the beginning of the year. Did anybody on this telecast here have the Broncos making the playoffs? Because I know it wasn't me.
I had Bo Nix as being good. I did.
Okay. And I didn't disagree with you, Spike. And I agree, but I didn't think that they was going to make the playoffs.
True. You can get that, FIFO. But going off that text you put in the chat, my thing is this: at what point in time is it acceptable at all just to score 7 points in a 60-minute game?
See, when you got a rookie
quarterback.
Oh,
that was-
I'm
that
gonna give him
was-
the pass.
Hey,
I'm gonna give him the pass.
He went there rookie when
people
people said that Tex was in it.
Exactly, and him and Lou talking about some Bo Nix good, but yeah, that first touchdown, but he didn't score, bro. He didn't score a single point. He didn't score a single point after that touchdown. That's insane. And you're supposed to be a playoff
Let
team.
me ask you this: is Bo Nix trash good, or you got to find another quarterback?
I told y'all the same.
What
thing.
is
we know
what
Buffalo's
is he?
defense
Is he trash good, or you got to find another quarterback?
He trashed in that game because we know what Buffalo's defense was.
I think he's good.
Is he trash good, or you got to find another quarterback?
He's mid. He's
I
not
know
going
you got to find another quarterback.
Yes.
One mic.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here, Nick.
One
Get
mic.
the fuck
He
out
got
of
another
here.
year.
The Steelers would kill for Bo Nix right now. What is you talking about?
FIFO, let me ask you. Can I follow up with your question before we move on, Cam? Before we move on, Cam. FIFO, in the AFC conference that he's in, will he win a championship in that conference right now in this era?
Hell no, he gonna be second. Nigga,
So then he ain't the guy. So then he ain't the guy.
Oh God.
No. Whoa. We're talking
crazy,
about you're talking about getting another quarterback that is going to be better than the
Than
greatest
Patrick
quarterback we've ever seen. That's not gonna happen. Every wait, hold on. Every franchise in that division is playing for second until Pat Mahomes retires. What is you talking about, Nick?
My thing is this, Lou and FIFO. I'm not saying a quarterback has to be better than Patrick Mahomes because I don't think that's happening. Because like I said, he's the best quarterback I've ever seen. But we have Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, and Joe Burrow, who all have proven that they could probably sneak in one. Even Joe Burrow did prove that he can at least sneak into one. I'm saying like he could sneak into one Super Bowl and possibly win one.
Let's just stick to the guys who are still in the playoffs.
My thing
or
is
made the playoffs.
My thing is this: Bo Nix doesn't have a chance to beat Patty, Lamar, or Allen, or whoever you want.
He don't gotta be.
I disagree.
He's got to be Jared Goff. He got to be Nick Foles. Like I keep trying to tell you, it's like
Brock Purdy
to beat, bro. I disagree a little bit with FIFO saying that they're competing for second because all it takes is 1 year where your team is better overall constructed than the Chiefs are in terms of defense and offense. Like it has to be more balanced. If the Broncos put together a string of good signings and good drafting, they couldn't have a year where they get one more game than because they should have beat the Chiefs this year. It was a flunk field goal. So if they get 1 year where they get one more game, they can win a division. Does that mean that they're going to beat the Chiefs in the playoffs? Probably not. In a lot of people's eyes, absolutely not. But I think you can be Bo Nix and you can be Jared Goff and you can be, a Nick Foles of 2017 and you can be a Brock Purdy. You can be a Jaylen Hurts.
But again, that's why I prefaced everything, Q, by saying the AFC. All them niggas you talking about is in the NFC where it's wide open. You just, like you said, you just need a good team and a good roster to get there. The AFC is a fucking gauntlet, bro. Look at the path that Lamar or anybody else has to take just to get to the Super Bowl. You facing the best quarterbacks in the fucking league. Bo Nix got to go. If he would have won this game, he would have had to play Patty next week and then probably play Lamar the week after. He ain't winning 3 of them games. I'm sorry.
Not yet. Because he's a rookie. Not yet. We don't know that he can't win those games, though.
I'm going to tell you this right now. Q said that he'll take this back if he can prove around. I don't ever see Bo Nix in the Super Bowl unless he in the NFC. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
All right, I'm gonna read off some super chats because they were related to some topics that we just finished. Tomlin defense committee stress right now. That's we them boys. Rob Costa, Nick and I need our flowers. We've been right about Herbert. Let's see, Mr. G Nugget. Last time Tomlin won a playoff game, Brady had 4 rings. Mahomes wasn't drafted, and we still believed in that. Jada and Will Love. I'm the cat. Mike Tomlin equal Doc Rivers right now.
That's crazy.
These all for you, Nick.
Yeah, that's
we them boys. We got to stop comparing Tomlin and Steelers to bump coaches and bad team standards. This is the Steelers making the playoffs is not a success. And Dragon Knight, if Tomlin was Mike McCarthy, y'all would not be capping this hard. Look who has more playoff wins, by the way. And that's where we are.
Hey, look, Ken.
There are more, but I'll save them too.
I've been known as a Steelers hater for years, and now look at them. They throwing roses at my feet. You know what I'm saying?
Look how long it took.
They haters too. Because they hate us too. That's the reason why.
It took forever.
I'm just saying, I'll be early on shit.
And by the way, Mike McCarthy was in a terrible division, so let's not do all that, bro.
The Mike McCarthy praise is crazy.
Like let's not do that.
I do not understand what y'all are talking
Terrible
about.
division?
0-16 Lions, like you know what I'm saying? Like we're talking.
You talking about when he was with Green Bay?
Yeah, man, when he was in Green Bay.
I thought you were talking about
no.
East now.
I'm glad you brought up the Green Bay Packers because
Oh boy.
the Philadelphia Eagles won a tough game against a young Green Bay Packers team 22-10. Is the Eagles offense good enough to continue winning like this? And we got a conversation about Jordan Love. We got to do our Etsy interview.
Do both of these teams have QB issues that need to be addressed? Green Bay.
Can I read this real quick?
Yeah.
Fun facts about Jaylen Hurts and the Eagles offense. Just some additional context for you guys. Since the Super Bowl run, if you take out his dominant performance, you heard that, Shelton, in that game, all of his playoff games since 2022, including Sunday night's game, have averaged only 164 passing yards per game and 1.25 passing touchdown per game.
Okay, to answer the question that is listed below first, do both of these teams have QB issues? No, both of them don't. Only one does, and it's the Eagles. Green Bay has to get Jordan Love a number one wide receiver.
Yes.
Unlike the Eagles, I feel like if we had Jordan Love in this system with AJ Brown, Saquon Barkley,
undefeated. Y'all would be undefeated.
Undefeated is crazy. Undefeated is crazy. But it's like I would feel a lot more like confident in our passing game. Especially if we had that coach too. Shit, dude, man, we'd be fucking out of here. But yeah, man, like Jordan Love had a hurt hand. Jaylen coming off a concussion, even though Jaylen says he doesn't believe in rust and I'm good. I don't do the rust thing. I had a whole week of practice. It's just not good enough, man. I don't accept what I like. Shannon Sharp has a great saying that I really like a lot. Don't accept nothing you wouldn't to win that you wouldn't in a loss. And I don't accept most of the shit I've seen from Jaylen Hurts in the playoffs, barring that Super Bowl performance. It is simply just not good enough. Tampa Bay.
You talking about the Super Bowl performance, but he fumbled to lose the game?
In the first half, for sure, but that was not the deciding factor. But Vegas made that call. But when it comes to Jaylen's performances in the playoffs, dude, it's just not enough. I don't think anybody can sit up here and be a real Eagles fan and say the fact that it's enough to get us where we need to be. I'm not saying that nigga has to be Patrick Mahomes. I'm not saying he has to be, but dude, you have to be Jared Goff here. Like you have to get me 200 plus yards. You have to do that. Especially
put your phone down. Listen to this.
Especially with what we have at our disposal. Just playing a clean game. I know some people on this panel are going to say he played a clean game. He didn't turn the ball.
Person.
I am not going to applaud a fish. I'm not going to applaud a fish for swimming. I'm not going to applaud a quarterback for not turning the ball over. I'm going to just say that he's playing like he's playing like the least needed piece on offense, and he's one of the most needed in terms of just elevating your play 2 notches above where you're at. He don't got to be elite, but dude, you got to be in that that Jared Goff tier. You have to be there for him for this team to go where we need to go. 164 yards averaging out, dude. 39 yards in the first half. And you have Saquon Barkley, AJ Brown, and Devontae Smith, and Dallas Goedert, and the best O-line in the league. It is just simply not enough. Like Kendrick said it. It's not enough. It's not enough.
You use the E word, and this is what I've been saying for the last 2 seasons.
What's the
E
word?
On paper, elite. On paper, there's not many rosters top to bottom better than the fucking Eagles. And when I watched the first half, especially off of the kickoff, when Buddy got popped, I don't know how
dudes was hitting all night, bro.
He blacked out for 2.5 seconds. That's the reason why he fumbled. That boy got hit hard, right? You get the ball back and you go up 10-0, and it was only 10-0 for the whole half. Everything you said, I agree with. When you use the E word, he himself doesn't have to be elite, but he can't hold this team back from being elite because offensively and defensively, bro, look, we talked about how bad their DBs were last season. They went and got a white boy DB, and they went and got the fast or him and Nate Wiggins, Quinyon Mitchell and Nate Wiggins were the two fastest DBs coming in the draft. And we saw that Quinyon is a baller, and they turned that DB, that secondary around. Darius Slay, he getting older, but he's a wily veteran. That front was dominant this year. You as a quarterback that has the God-given abilities that Jaylen Hurts has, you can't hold your team back from being elite because they're elite everywhere else. Like you said, they're elite at wide receiver, they're elite at O-line, they're elite at running back, they're elite at defensive on
line,
the defense,
line,
DBs. Like, bro,
every position they're elite at.
Like, bro, Jahan Dotson's our third wide receiver. It's just like it's just not
Shelton,
enough.
I said this last year. I said based off of this roster, the way that they started this game, they should have been up 21-28-0 at half. And Tom Brady kept saying
they don't have a quarterback that can do that.
And you know what? Look, my thing is this. Spike, you're not wrong. But then
he's wrong.
But then Jaylen Hurts has to be the biggest rushing threat at quarterback that there is in the league. If you can't throw the ball with the elites, okay, fine. Everybody can't do it. But he has a skill set. The nigga squat like 800 pounds. He's squatting with D linemen, bro. Get your ass out there and go run for $150 a game then. Go run for $120 a game with Saquon then. You know what I'm saying? And throw for your $150. But that's 300 yards of offense from you then. So then my thing is this. And this obviously a piece of the pie go to Nick Sirianni and go to Jaylen Hurts and go to the OC. But y'all gotta find a way to not allow Jaylen Hurts from not allowing y'all to be an elite team because we can't make no more excuses. If you can't pass, that's fine. Get this man running 20 times a game. Then they got to do something.
Let me say something before Sheldon Lou go because I know Sheldon's gonna, he already got his cape on, or at least he cut it up.
I'm quick.
Go and stretch the scarf out, Sheldon. Making the cape.
My thing is to the point of the Eagles' offense. It really highlights how much Jordan Love shit the bed this game, because if he was even remotely the quarterback he was, more than likely that second half of the season where he didn't turn the ball over at all, those last 6-7 games, I think this game is close because they got cheated out of that fumble recovery because the dude had the ball. If you look at the overview, the dude recovered the ball.
Took that ball
but that call didn't decide the game because, again, like FIFO said, they only scored 10 points that whole half. So it's still a ball game. Jordan Love just didn't execute. Now, granted, he lost his wide receivers.
Boys was dropping like flies, though.
Yeah, he lost his wide receivers. He lost his best O-line. Yeah, like it was just a bad game overall. But still, 3 turnovers, bro, 3-4 turnovers, however many you did, that don't help either. That damn show don't help. Especially when Josh Jacobs was trying to do everything but throw the ball to win the game. So to me, that it just highlights like, bro, this game was close. That Packers defense was playing phenomenal. You talk about that Eagles defense, that Packers defense was playing phenomenal, at least to hold back this offensive juggernaut that the Eagles are, how y'all talked about the roster. But it just highlights, bro, Jordan Love just chose the wrong day to have a bad game. So I got to give credit for the Eagles for winning, but I'm also putting a lot of blame on Jordan Love. He fucked up.
Go ahead, Kate, man.
Mine is quick, man. I'm as a former athlete myself, the one thing that stood out most to me was when my coach would say, just win, baby. Now, you got things to work on. I don't mind talking about things to work on. But the bottom line, what Jaylen Hurts says more than anything else that I agree with, let's make the main thing the main thing. Let's win, survive, and advance. Get through the next game healthy. We lost a key cog in that defense, man. Losing Nakobe Dean really, 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 really hurt. But more than anything, man, look, that defense came to play. That defense was stout. You knew you had him. I'd have snatched Jaylen up to him and been like, bro, don't you lose this game. Don't you turn this. Don't. We ain't got to do all that. Just get out here, survive and advance. Let's get to the next week. With you healthy, Saquon healthy, everybody intact, and let's make the plays we need to make to win the game.
Hold on.
You saying some goofy shit right now.
100%.
Because people knew he had to say, "Hold on, Spike."
To begin the game, he was 6 for 7.
Vitriol that I was coming with behind that bullshit.
To begin the game, he was 6 for 7. He went 0 for 7 in the stretch in between, and then he was pretty much flawless in the second half as far as his passing goes. He didn't pass that much, but I think it was like 7 of 8 in the second half.
Somebody in the chat,
go FIFO, please.
Somebody in the chat said that Lamar only threw for 171 and 2 touchdowns. But look at how their offense looks, right?
It don't matter.
Number one, Lamar is efficient.
In the same round, right?
Hold on. So I'm not saying like I previously said, and what Q, trust me, I got you.
He beat Lamar, didn't he?
Hold on.
I'm just asking questions.
The Ravens, hold on. The Ravens look elite. The Ravens look like that's the team that you don't want to play. And it's not because Lamar's out here throwing for 400, 500, 600 yards. It's because they are explosive. Because when you can't, bro, this is crazy. This is
the Ravens look how it's supposed to look when you got an elite quarterback and elite running back.
Yes,
the Eagles have a under
average. You wait. And you talking about that elite quarterback and elite running back that Jaylen Hurts beat? Because if we talk about the same team, let's talk about the same. Let's keep the main thing the main thing. You win the game in front of you the way you need to win it.
Could score over 10 points with Saquon Barkley, who had 2,000 rushing yards, and somebody that y'all wheeled out there as quarterback who's a running back. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Lamar Jackson, who's a real quarterback, and I got to pay respect to both of them.
The one that beat the brakes off the Ravens when they were hot in their own stadium.
Look, Sheldon, we're in a different phase of the game right now. You're talking about regular season shit. I'm talking about playoff shit.
I'm talking about
what
winning.
The Eagles are doing in the playoffs is not going to be conducive to them in winning. And it's because of Jaylen Hurts. Everybody's seen that. Anybody who's objectional looking at Jaylen Hurts can see, oh, this dude can't play quarterback like he needs to win a Super Bowl, to continue to flourish in the playoffs. Lamar Jackson shows you that. He shows you what it would look like if I got somebody like Derrick Henry behind me running. We gave Barkley to Hurts, and he still looks like an under-average quarterback.
So when Lamar Jackson,
all I've been speaking to for the last 2 years.
So when Lamar Jackson,
Jaylen Hurts is okay at quarterback, but he's not really fit out for that position.
So when Lamar Jackson was in the Super Bowl, how did he perform?
Let me ask you this.
Next question.
Jaylen
Hurts been there. Jaylen Hurts been there.
Before your closing arguments, counselor.
Been there.
Let me ask you this. Before your closing arguments, counselor, let me ask you this real quick. When the Eagles were in the Super Bowl, and this guy that you're talking about, the play quarterback,
he balled out and had the second best performance in the Super Bowl ever.
The losing
best
play,
Super Bowl performance ever.
Right, and the losing play for them was what? The losing play for them was what?
When the pass interference call. He was a pass interference call away from winning the game. He don't play defense.
Sheldon, can I ask you a question? Which quarterback did Lamar and Jaylen Hurts lose that year that they went to the Super Bowl?
Patty.
Yeah, so they lost to the same guy. So the
issue is just that, bro. It's just simply not enough. Like at the end of the day,
it's enough, Q, if he's winning.
It's not a nigga. We ain't win shit. What are you talking about, Sheldon? We ain't win shit. What are you talking about?
You in the playoffs?
We ain't win shit.
Are you not in the playoffs? Are you not in the playoffs? Are you out? You lost. You lost.
You keep bringing up the Super Bowl. We lost that shit.
Did you win the division?
You bringing up the Super Bowl. We lost it.
No, I'm talking about now. I'm talking about right now.
But right now, the same habits is what plagued us then. So what are you talking about? Like
I'm talking about you're winning now. That's what I'm talking about. Are you not clear with that? Are you not winning?
We're winning now because of everything else but the guy who distributes the football. That's why we're winning. Saquon Barkley, that nigga, bro. Jaylen Hurts had 118 yards in that game against Baltimore.
So Jaylen Hurts didn't ball against the Bengals. Did you watch the Bengals game?
Why are we talking about the Bengals?
Why are we talking about
I'm talking about just games in general. You saying like he ain't got nothing to do with winning. Come on, fam. You got to give credit where credit is due.
I'm not saying he's playing great. That's what we're trying to tell you, Sheldon.
I'm not saying he's playing great. That's not what I'm saying.
No credit is due to Jaylen Hurts. He is sneaking it up right now.
Sheldon, can I ask you a question? When was the last time Jaylen Hurts balled out as a QB in the playoffs?
In the playoffs? Nah, he ain't balled out in the
Super
playoffs
Bowl.
lately.
The Super Bowl.
So why are we bringing up?
That's like 2 years ago. That's 2
Yeah,
years
because
ago.
he lost the last game, and then this game wasn't a great game. So no, that's 2 years ago.
So here's my thing: is that you can't just look like a dude in a helmet while everyone else is superstars. Like you can't just be that. You have to be competent. And
you got to win, Q. You got to win. This game is about winning.
I understand.
You care how it looks.
I understand.
I don't care about looks.
I understand.
Care about winning.
I understand. But to me, that's such a reductive argument because I'm not talking about style points. I'm talking about being competent. 39 yards in the first half ain't about looks, bro. This is about actual quality and talent.
But Q, you're a fan, so you tell me how you got the 39 yards. You look at it, you break it down. Then break it down. You like to break stuff down. What did you see? No. I want Q to tell me what he saw.
I'll break it down.
What did you see?
Okay, Sheldon, if I go get you 3 turnovers in the game and you put up 10 fucking points, we're gonna have some conversations in the goddamn locker room. Yes. Bro, what are you talking about? So I can get you 3 turnovers. Zach Bond gets you a turnover. Quinyon Mitchell gets you a turnover. Darius Slay gets you a turnover. Oren Burks gets you a turnover, and you get 10 points in the first half with 39 yards. That's enough for you?
What did you see him do?
I'm asking you a question. Nothing. Is that enough for you?
Nigga, that's what he's saying.
No. But I'm asking you what part was on him. Did you not watch the all 22s? Did you watch the breakdown? Did you rewatch
Let's move on.
Now niggas gotta watch the coaching tape.
You don't have to move
on. Now niggas gotta watch the coaching tape to understand the relevance of Jaylen Hurts.
We're gonna stay right here.
It's bigger than surface.
We're gonna stay right here. I'm so tired. I'm so tired of Jaylen Hurts apologists bringing up offensive fucking coordinators. Bro, this is so beyond Kellen Moore. This is so beyond whoever else we had. Steichen, he has had 4 offense coordinators, and he has been the common denominator.
Yeah,
he has been the common
winning more than most quarterbacks.
No, the team is winning, Sheldon. The fucking team is winning.
Absolutely, he's the quarterback.
The team is winning. The Eagles organization is winning.
He's the quarterback of.
And yes, he's the quarterback of. So it's the same reason why people like Daniel Jones went to the playoffs. The whole team was playing good. Saquon looked amazing.
Daniel Jones.
Yes, I'm comparing him to Daniel Jones. They have very similar stats.
We can move on.
And they do the same shit. Now, if you give Daniel Jones, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Jahan Dotson, and one of the best O-lines.
Get the hell out of here.
That's insane, bro.
What was another question, Ken?
Ken tapped out on us. Ken like, fuck this shit.
That's wild right there. That's wild.
No, because that sounds so crazy to me, bro. Like, as an actual Eagles fans, I don't know if Sheldon is aware of this, but actual Eagles fans have been talking every single game about why is our first half offense so bad? Mm-hmm. And everyone's like, bro, it's Jaylen. He's not processing these fucking throws. We want to talk about Russell Wilson not being able to get to his second, third read. We're looking at Jaylen to get his second, third read, and he can't. And we're like, okay, Dallas Goedert's wide open in the flat. Why is why is that not happening? Devontae Smith is open at the top of the route. Why is that not happening? And you have a bunch of different opinions coming from ESPN and Fox analysts saying, oh, the Packers concepts were better than the Eagles concepts and they were locking it up. I don't want to hear that shit, dude. You have AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, all these people. And if you tell me you go into that locker room and ask Devontae Smith and AJ Brown, were you locked up every fucking play? What the fuck you think they gonna say, Sheldon? This ain't about looks, bro. This is about just efficiency. And he not being
efficient. Being efficient is winning the game.
I was reading the book on the sideline. No, I was reading the book on the sideline.
No, Sheldon, that's an outcome. No, Sheldon, that's an outcome. That's not about efficiency. You can backdoor your way into a fucking win. That's happening all the time.
You can. It does happen all the time.
But that's not. But it ain't gonna happen enough for you.
It's not gonna happen enough for you to be the second winning.
Trevor Lawrence wasn't efficient in that comeback.
You can't be the second quarterback, second winning quarterback. Second winningest quarterback in the league and backdoor your way to that.
Here's what I'll say.
No, but you can get carried to that by your team.
You can be carried to that.
Right.
Yes, you
got to contribute.
We saw Russell Wilson get carried. We saw Russell Wilson get carried in his earlier seasons with the Seahawks. Russell Wilson threw 4 interceptions against Green Bay in the NFC Championship game, and they went to the Super Bowl. So don't talk to me about how Russell Wilson was efficient in that game. You love to set a standard and move the goalpost.
That ain't moving no goalpost. That ain't moving the goalpost.
You did just move the goalpost. You said efficiency.
I ain't say nothing about Russell Wilson.
You said you talk about that game.
I said efficiency in that game.
No, you're not gonna overtalk
turn
and try
the
to
ball
do this.
over.
You hung your hat on
overtalking.
efficiency.
You
Because you're not listening. You hung your hat
No,
on efficiency.
he's not.
Yes.
That is not
So
indicative
this
of
is you.
outcome. You can be inefficient and still win a football game. Yes or
Absolutely.
no? Yes.
Absolutely.
So don't talk to me about how Jaylen Hurts is efficient because he wins.
But
that is a team stat.
So you was in there on the game plan.
That is a team stat.
Yeah. I'm gonna talk about wins because you got to ultimately
But
win.
you're putting it at the feet of Jaylen Hurts, so that defeats your argument.
You still throwing out what's the most important thing: winning the games.
And
you
that's
once
a team
again,
stat.
once again, you
What
cannot
he's
saying is your quarterback is being carried to wins. That's
at times,
quarterback is
absolutely, they
being
all
carried
are.
to wins.
At times they all are.
Specifically, your quarterback.
No, you can't say
look,
specifically him.
all right,
All of them are.
so-
Yeah.
Let's move.
So
let's move on.
here's the issue.
I'm in the Twilight Zone.
Absolutely.
Shelton clearly has a different standard for Jaylen Hurts than anybody else in the NFL.
world.
On the planet.
I don't have a different
No,
standard.
yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
No,
you can say you don't. No.
because-
Shelton,
no,
you've been talking for the last 15 minutes. The reason why I say this is because go ahead. Go
I was gonna say my different standards for the so-called fans. The fans that sit out here and complain about, you gotta do this better. You gotta that's where my standard comes in.
Right.
Because I understand he can play better. I ain't nobody said he played great.
Mhm.
No, he's not played great. But at the same time, he's winning
played
games.
terrible,
That's the
nigga.
point.
That's
Well,
it. He's played
He can play terrible all the way until he loses. Then I'm gonna have a problem.
here's the issue, because number one, fans have the right to do that because they've been enduring this. You're just along for the ride, Shelton, until Jaylen leaves. That's the issue that probably fans have with you, is that you're not a real fan.
I see some of their fans saying the same thing though. I thought I was alone, but I'm not.
But my thing is what I'm saying is you default to the real basic elementary elements of an argument, is that you just say they win the game. Is he won this? Do they do that? When we discuss other quarterbacks that just win the game, you don't allow them those graces. And you
nigga.
Who?
You don't. You.
What quarterback?
That Al, nigga.
Jared Goff is one. You did the same thing against Stafford when he went on to win the Super Bowl.
Jared Goff threw
Jimmy
5
G.
Jared,
What did he do, Shelton? He threw 5 interceptions, right?
And everybody gave him a pass. So what I do is try to make it balanced. So if everybody pull it left, I'm gonna pull back down. That's all.
Brock Purdy's a good one. Okay.
Brock Purdy is a perfect example for you, Sheldon.
Why?
Because you were shitting on him.
What?
You were saying he didn't.
Your standards are different, Shelton.
You were saying he didn't deserve that.
No, they're
different. Be there. They need to get another quarterback.
I said Brock
Purdy probably performed better than Jaylen Hurts has.
No, see, I won't let people say that. Brock Purdy deserves the money he get. I was on the side of the money. Y'all was the ones that said he didn't deserve the money.
I ain't talking about the money. That ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm talking about
the man made the Super Bowl. You can't complain.
Okay, I'm talking about the performance on the field, and you're saying that the performances on the field are different when it comes to your quarterback, Jaylen Hurts, versus every other quarterback.
No, I just try to. Let me tell you what it is. What I try to do is balance it out, because once again, you can't give a guy like Jared Goff all his credit for throwing all these picks like y'all tried to do, but then say Jaylen Hurts is bad when he won and didn't throw none. You can't do that. So I'm gonna try to bring it back this way.
He had 39 yards in a playoff game.
Shelton, at the core of what you said is that did they win? You say that. Oh, yes. I just heard you just basically argue Q down with just that one thing.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm saying. It's not fair. It's not even across the board.
If Goff wins, I get off Goff. I ain't think about that. I'm gonna
talk
about
winning. They're the number 1 seed in the NFC.
No. Stop it. So Shelton, you also did the same thing with Stafford too. I mean, I could go. I could pull Stafford.
Up. I hated Stafford.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Your standards are different.
That's not a standard.
That's called moving. That's called moving. That's called moving. That's called moving.
Stafford. Let's move on. Here, to answer the question, I think the offense is good enough to win the Super Bowl because of everything else that's around. I think the defense is really good enough. I think they caught the Packers when they were down some weapons. Jordan Love wasn't good enough. He was awful, but he's a gunslinger. It must be a Packers mentality to just go get guys like that. And it is what it is. I'm not going to put a lot of blame on him because he was down a core receiver, and then he started losing guys like flies. So I'm gonna give him a pass for his performance because, in the second half he was able to kind of get him down there and he was able to score a touchdown. He threw an interception. I mean, not the interception, but he threw a pass that if he had his receivers, they probably would have scored on a touchdown with on one of those cuts in the red zone. So, he tried with what he had, but he had Bo Melton and some other dude out there.
Jordan Love didn't even have feeling in his throwing hand, and I really couldn't tell the difference between both of the quarterbacks. Like, this shit is like, come on, bro. Like,
yeah. So
I know Q.
Nick, I know.
Nick, I know how you like him. You like
Nick,
him perfect.
I know. I said
I come from the Donovan McNabb, Mike Vick. I come.
Nick, I know. I know he said he's on watch, but but no, I'm gonna give him a pass. Yeah,
I was arguing with other people. I was arguing with other people in the Reddit thread. They talking about Jordan Love overrated. He's a fraud. All the other stuff. He got paid off of one playoff run. I'm like, bro, he's proven in back-to-back seasons he can take the Packers to the playoffs. He's proven that he can win in playoff situation. He damn near beat the 49ers to go to the NFC title game last season. So if he had a shitty game this game, but I got to see next season. If next season he still continues to play like this unorthodox and unprepared, he looked like he seemed like he was. Granted, of course, he was losing guys, but he got to be better.
You're just talking about this game, or you talking about overall? Because
they were talking about overall him as a quarterback.
I think
this game, man,
he's the best quarterback in that division.
Yeah, this game, this game, I don't really fault him for this game. At times he's a little wild, but I can't fault him for this game. One, he lost a lot of players. He lost Christian Watson going in. He lost about 3 or 4 guys during the game, and that defense was hell. I mean, it's tough, man. It's tough to play quarterback in this league, and it's tough to play against a defense like that. He was facing some monsters out there. So I don't blame him for this game as much as I do, the fact that they were just outmatched. That's really what it comes down to. And I don't really look at him like too harsh on this game.
And really, I was surprised LaFleur didn't have a better game plan.
Mm-hmm.
Last point, Spike, and then we'll move on.
And I agree with Sheldon in the sense of I just think that it was a bad game plan. And I do still think that Jordan Love is probably the best quarterback in that division. I don't trust Sam Darnold. I don't trust Jared Goff over Love as far as talent. I don't trust anyone else. I think Love is the top at that division in the sense of I don't know what Caleb gonna do yet. Maybe he will be better at some point, but Love is the best quarterback in that division right now. I just think he had a bad game plan.
They're watching the Commanders. Let's go to somebody who I don't know. I don't know. I can't even segue into this one with game plans. The Washington Commanders snuck out of Tampa Bay with the last-minute game-winning field goal against the Buccaneers, 23-20. Is Jayden Daniels having the greatest rookie season for a quarterback ever?
Oh my God!
Ever is crazy.
Oh, that's tough.
Didn't Joe name it?
It's arguable. Like him, Cam Newton.
What's the comps?
Joe.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I don't know.
Cam Newton.
What rookie quarterback? Go ahead, Q.
Didn't Joe Namath win a Super Bowl?
As a rookie?
Was that a rookie?
No, it was as a rookie.
Okay.
I don't think there has been a rookie quarterback to win. Dan Marino.
That was his second. That was his second year.
No rookie has ever reached the Super Bowl. There are guys that made it close with the championship games. Big Ben, Joe Flacco, and Mark Sanchez.
Yeah, I'm answering Ken's question of greatest rookie quarterback season. So that's why I threw out Dan Marino. I threw out Cam Newton. You know what I'm saying? So there's been quite a few. RG3. Dak had a really good rookie year. But look, when we're Jayden Daniels this season could be the greatest rookie season of all time. Because
wait, real quick before you get going, even better than CJ Stroud.
That's what I was going to ask. I was trying to see.
To me,
CJ has done the same thing that he's done.
Yeah,
I think Jayden did it in a tougher division, right? There was more talent in the division than CJ Stroud's division, and also his legs. He utilized his legs more than CJ did. More dynamic, and I could say throw for throw. He could match CJ throw for throw, But the difference, I think, he's more explosive on the ground than CJ is. He's more willing to run than CJ. CJ to me is a pocket passer that can run, and I think Jayden is a runner that is willing to stay in the pocket.
So
I think Big Ben went to the Super Bowl his rookie year.
Oh, well,
is that not true?
No, he didn't go. He
didn't
go.
When his rookie year, he didn't go to the Super Bowl his rookie year.
No,
he was CJ Stroud was a Pro Bowl quarterback his rookie year too.
Yeah, the Google search said it did, but you can fact check that. Let me throw out some names. So I did a Google search because so we can compare it to. So the number one person they have on there, and Jayden Daniels is actually on this list. He's fourth, but Russell Wilson is number one. Is who they have.
He had a good year. He had a good year.
Yeah, it was good, but not the greatest.
Didn't he lose to
he definitely went to the playoffs.
Didn't he lose to the Falcons his rookie year?
Who? I don't remember who he lost to.
Because that was the game RG3 blew out his knee, was against the Seahawks, and then they beat them in the playoffs, and they went on to face the Falcons, and they lost that game. I think that was his rookie year.
They lost to the Falcons on a field goal.
Yep. So, I mean, but that was, well, once again, that was the team.
He was carried. Exactly. He was carried. Now, he didn't fumble the bag.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but at the end of the day, that defense is what carried them and Marshawn Lynch. You know what I'm saying? Russell just played a complimentary role. The Commanders are good because of Jayden Daniels.
Yeah. I think he might be here, though. He might be
Carolina.
Russell
the Carolina Panthers were. We talked about because of Cam Newton.
Yeah, they were only Cam. Yeah, Cam was it for Carolina when he came.
He wasn't a rookie though. Wait,
no, his rookie year.
What's the conversation? Because he wasn't a rookie though.
Yeah, we're talking about rookies. We're just talking about
greatest rookie season of a quarterback ever.
Cam wasn't a rookie when he had that year. He was.
No. I'm talking about his rookie year.
His rookie season was good.
In his first game, he broke the passing record against the Arizona Cardinals.
Cam is third on this list.
He didn't do shit as far as like team accomplishments.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
100%. But
he didn't go to where Jayden Daniels. Even with what you're saying, FIFO, you're correct. I agree with you. Cam did have a great rookie year, but if I'm measuring that versus what Jayden Daniels has done, and now I'm in a playoff game to possibly go to the NFC Conference Championship, I would say Jayden had a better rookie year.
100%, and that's why I was saying, like, I don't disagree. Like, I think Jayden does have the best rookie season of all time. But the comps, right? Somebody asked about the comps. Cam Newton is a comp because individually he set a lot of rookie records. You know, that were just now broken.
You know what? It would have to be CJ Stroud because CJ Stroud threw for over 4,000 yards.
What was the total?
A rare agreement.
Yeah, the rushing total. I wouldn't even think about that. But he had Jayden Daniels had 25 touchdowns and 9 interceptions, and CJ Stroud had 23 and 5, and he won his division, and he was a Pro Bowler. So he would have had to have a better rookie season than Jayden Daniels.
I mean, but didn't Jayden Daniels won more games than CJ?
Yep.
Because one more. Jayden got 12. Jayden got. That's what I'm saying. Like, I agree.
He did win more. Yeah.
FIFA brought up a good point. Like, in a harder division, he won more games. So to me, y'all already know I'm a big Jayden Daniels fan. But
I am too. So yeah.
If we're gonna get to the picks later on, if he gets this upset, because this will shock the world if he gets this upset. Then we talking about a whole different conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like even because we knew Mark Sanchez got carried with the Jets. Mm-hmm. We knew whoever else made it.
Russell Wilson.
Yeah, Russell Wilson. Like most of them niggas got carried. I love that Bobby Wagner and all that. He's a Hall of Famer, but when he got trucked over by Baker Mayfield, we know that this team is going by Jayden Daniels. You know what I'm saying? Like this,
Nick, in your bones, if you had to bet on it, what would you say that Jayden Daniels could win this game? What's the percentage?
If I had to bet on it,
we got to get to the picks.
I'm on. Yeah, if I had to bet on him, I'm doing
not even the picks.
$5
I'm just speaking of what he's saying. Like he's saying that if Jayden Daniels was able to do this, then he would be the best. But how far of a stretch is that he would be able to win this game?
It's not that far because the Detroit Lions defense is shitball.
He's gonna have to rush for 100 yards.
Yeah, his legs are going to be the reason.
Amazing in this game.
Yeah, it's going to have to be a shootout, and
like,
he's.
I don't even think he has to be. Yeah,
I think it would be a generational performance. If I ain't saying that he can't, because from what I've seen, he can do it. The dude is a beast. I ain't taking shit away from him, but it would have to be a generational performance for him to win this game.
I just think their defense is going to get down too much for them to come out of that hole. But if that defense plays the game of their life, Jayden Daniels, to me, all he got to do is unsettle their defense on Detroit's side by like he got to get 85 to 100 plus yards rushing, because that means he's creating.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like he, you know what I mean, on some basketball shit, he off the dribble with it. You know what I mean? Like
we saw the blueprint. It has to be exactly what Josh Allen did a few weeks ago against Detroit. It's gonna be a shootout. There's gonna be no defense basically, and he's gonna have to run for touchdowns, throw for touchdowns,
40 plus.
Yeah,
it's gonna have to put a 40.
It's gonna have to be like that. That's
Well,
the only way I can see him win.
I got two more quarterbacks, 2 more points to make about the quarterbacks. Then I want to flip to the other side with the Bucks. A name people forget: Dak Prescott, his rookie year.
Right.
13
No,
and
Spike said it.
Oh,
Spike said it.
Yeah.
but Big Ben went 13-0 as a rookie.
that's real.
Quarterback. So, hey
got
man,
carried,
That's it right there. It's hard to argue with that.
hey,
But that defense carried him.
But
It don't matter.
He had Jerome
It's
Bettis.
The whole team.
It's hard to argue with
He had
undefeated.
a hell of a coach. He had a great
Hey.
team around him. Yeah.
I know it's a technicality, but I mean, he's
Daniels
technically
has a
not-
lot around him
technically-
too. Let's not act like he don't.
I mean, he has a little bit. You ain't got a lot.
Terry.
All you got-
Zach
He
Ertz.
got a lot.
He got
Yeah,
structure.
yeah.
He got structure. But
give
13,
you
you know,
that.
it's hard to argue.
But
with.
I
It's
was
hard
so
to
wrong.
argue.
Like I want to say, I was incredibly wrong about the Commanders. I thought they were dead on arrival this season. Like I have nothing but respect for what they've done. But I know he wasn't a rookie, and if I'm doing technicalities on when they played, Patrick Mahomes,
Yeah.
he didn't play his rookie year.
Yeah.
He
He played one game.
That's why we can't
Hey,
win, though.
game.
We can't
He
count that,
played
though.
one game.
The
'Cause if
losing
you-
quarterback had I think he had a pretty good rookie record as well.
Baker.
Rookie season. Baker Mayfield.
Yep. Yep.
Mhm.
Baker was solid.
Yep.
Great year.
But
41 touchdown passes.
He was great
Who,
this year.
Baker?
Yeah, 41.
No, he's talking about his
I'm talking about his
not
rookie
this
year. Yeah. He was
Oh,
on the
okay.
list too for having a good rookie year.
Mhm.
And one of the lists I was looking at was since 2010. But he wasn't good enough. As a matter of fact, you could point to the sole reason they lost that game, because right when they had momentum, he fumbled a handoff
Mhm.
and it was over from there. You cannot
Over
give
from
this guy. And I got to give Dan Quinn's credit, man, to go for it on 4th down twice in the 4th quarter with damn near the game on the line, bro. That took a lot.
Hey,
But
Ken,
yeah.
that's the confidence that you have when you have a quarterback like Jayden Daniels. There's like 4 of those in the league. People try to say, "Oh, it's 15 good quarterbacks in the league." No, it's 4 good quarterbacks in the league, 5 including Jayden Daniels. And this is a person that I feel confident in. I'm going to make this decision and put the game in his hands and hope he can make a play.
Well, they
Lou,
finally called a
I
good
ain't-
play.
I was gonna say I ain't even gonna say that, Lou. You playing with house money at this point because nobody expected you to be there. So in saying that you make that play call because
But
you don't
true.
have a
I still feel like, Sheldon, I have one of the quarterbacks that can make this play for me. If I had Jaylen Hurts, I wouldn't call that play. I would call a different play.
I get it.
I
it.
got somebody like Jayden Daniels, and I see him do it cooking all week. Yeah, like let's go.
We call it
You know,
2
one
yard
of
push.
Jayden Daniels'
beat him.
superpowers is that he stays calm and collected no matter how crazy around him it gets. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We like the greatest quarterbacks have some level of calm, right? Like Tom Brady, didn't matter the stakes. Oh, I got to drive 80 yards with a minute and a half. I'm gonna do it. Right? No timeouts. It don't matter, right? We seen Pat Mahomes rise whenever the most pressure's on him. But the difference with Jayden Daniels, right? It just seems like it don't phase him. Like he just seems calm. Like he's just even keel. He could throw an 80-yard bomb and he'll be excited. Yeah, he'll dap his guys up. But there's just a level of calm that he has that we haven't really seen from a lot of great quarterbacks that he has as a rookie that he shouldn't. Because going into the situation, Q, I'm with you, bro. I was selling stock on Commanders. I wasn't buying none of that. I'm like, bro, okay, cool. They got Terry McLaurin and what else? Okay, they got a solid running back. They got an old ass Zach Ertz. You know,
What about
defense-
Todd Bowles? Is he underrated or overrated as a head coach?
You know how
Because
I
you're
feel.
gonna keep going, right?
Todd Bowles is
Underrated.
properly
Outta here.
rated. He's properly rated.
He's right there.
underrated.
Yeah.
He's properly
underrated.
rated. He's in the middle where he deserves to be.
Stop
He's a
it.
guy. No, he's a guy that you
He's
bring
solid.
in. Yeah, he's a guy you bring in to write
Solid.
a program. I'll tell you like this: he's the Dwayne Casey of Doc Rivers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. For real. No.
I'll
Q
tell
has
you
a
this.
point. If you have a fucked up
Bowles-
ass organization, you bring him in and he'll give you stability. Will you win a championship? Maybe not, but he'll leave you better than what he got.
And to be fair, they lost Chris Godwin, and they had some other key injuries. I think there's a lot left on the bone for Tampa Bay. I think they can get to the second round next year. I'm not saying that they can get to a Super Bowl, but I believe in Baker. Like, to me, this game was not on him. I don't see how this game was on Baker Mayfield.
It's on Baker. That fumble was
I don't see how that. To me, the loss
was
is not
on
on Baker Mayfield.
It is. It's
on him.
1,000,000% on him.
One play
He
doesn't
fumbled
lose the
that
game.
ball. It
One play don't lose
does,
the game.
bro.
One play always
That
in the
that
playoffs.
fumble,
When you're the quarterback that I'm
That was-
paying a lot of money to win games for me, and you fumble the ball in
He
that
took a
critical
team-friendly
situation,
deal. He
it's
took a
on
that
you.
was-
deal, though.
And
that
that's
was
fine.
two- that was
Team-friendly
actually
deal
two
is fine,
plays.
but it's still your fault, though. It's your fault that you fumbled the ball in that situation.
Yeah,
it
but
was two plays. It was the fumble, which was a mistiming play
That was
by
the key
him,
play.
and then the other one was key too, because it was like 3rd and 1, and they snapped the ball and the offensive line didn't move because the snap count was off. That was a huge play, because that would have scored a touchdown there. They would have went up 4, which would have forced Washington to have to score a touchdown.
Philosophically, I just don't watch football the way some people do or just sports in general. I don't believe that one play ruins a game, and I don't believe that one play makes a game. I think that when you're in a locker room with, coaches, guys, you're watching film, they will show you, bro, we missed about 16 plays throughout this game. There were key mistakes that were made, but dude, Baker Mayfield is the very reason that this team even made the playoffs. Him and Mike Evans were the reason that this team made the playoffs. So I'm not going to throw it at the feet.
That don't take away from that one play that did cost him the game, though.
It's
You're
the cherry
right.
on top.
Baker put them in the position to be able to do these things. However, if I fumble that basic play there, it still has a lot to do with I'm Sam Darnold. I'm not Josh Allen. I'm not Lamar Jackson. I'm not Baker
elite.
Mayfield.
Elite quarterbacks don't make that mistake.
I'm average. Yeah, like elite quarterbacks do not make that
Baker
mistake.
Mayfield, no, see, I'm not judging Baker Mayfield as an elite quarterback. I'm judging Baker Mayfield as a really good quarterback, and I'm judging the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as a team. As a team, if I'm Todd Bowles, I can't go look Baker Mayfield in his face and say, yo, that fumble lost us the game. I'm looking at my defense. Now, I'm supposed to be a savant.
You're not being real with your quarterback, then.
But I am, though, because my defense lost a lot of
y'all spending too much time on Baker. Hey, Q, what about Kevin O'Connell? What is he saying to Sam Darnold?
The total opposite. The total opposite. The total opposite. He's saying the total opposite of what he said.
Yeah. So the Los Angeles Rams dominated the Sam Darnold-led Minnesota Vikings, ending their Cinderella season with a 27-9 victory. Has Sam Darnold earned a contract extension with the Vikings after the season he had? And then I want to ask y'all about Sean McVay, man, on whether or not he's underrated as a head coach.
Hey, Kay, I'm gonna start here because I feel like a lot of people are taking a big ass dump on Sam Darnold, and obviously the game didn't look good. It looked like the Sam Darnold from the Jets, and you know how I felt about Sam Darnold. Right?
So, FIFO, you're probably going to get into some stats. Can I give you some?
No, I wasn't. But go ahead. Throw in some stats in there.
So, because I don't know what you're going to go with Sam Darnold, but just hear me out. So, over the last 2 weeks, 2 games, the Lions and the Rams that the Vikings have played with Sam Darnold as a starter, he has thrown 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, a 53% completion percentage, and the Vikings offense has only scored a combined 18 points, while their seasonal average is 25. So what are you gonna say about Sam?
So what I want to know, Ken, since you're looking at the stats, is how many attempts did he have in that game, in both of those games, the Lions game and then this playoff game here. And that's do that for me, because my point is more Kevin O'Connell. Now, I'm not saying that the Lions share, no pun intended, doesn't go to Sam Darnold. It does. You're the quarterback, right? Like, we all watched the same thing. The man was holding the ball like, bro, like, hey, throw it away. Like, don't take the sack. Do something. Do something. You can't hold the ball like that. But I'm putting a big piece of the pie on Kevin O'Connell, and that's that I had him in my top 10 coaches at the beginning of the season. And I still think he is one of the better coaches, but he's calling too many passes. And I think that what we saw early in that game, he could have called a little bit more runs, settle it down, because obviously the momentum or the lack of momentum that they had from that Lions game, we saw at the beginning of this game. Like the magic wasn't there. And what Kevin O'Connell did with his play call was like he tried to forget that the Lions game even happened. And that's what you should do as a professional athlete, as a coach with a game plan. But at the end of the day, your quarterback wasn't responding to that. And that's why I'm giving a big piece to Kevin O'Connell. Sam Darnold was trash too, but Kevin O'Connell deserves a big piece of the pie.
That's crazy that they lost
40 attempts. In both
40.
games, 40 plus.
That's
crazy
issue.
that they lost. They lost back to back to the Rams and
the Lions.
Who was it? The Lions and the Rams twice.
Mm-hmm.
So they lost to them in the they were rolling and lost to them in the regular season back to back, and then they didn't lose any other games, and then came back to lose to the same two teams again. So he really just struggled against the two teams all year, but. Nonetheless, when you needed him most, he stunk it up. And no, he earned a contract, but not with the Vikings. They are high on JJ, from what I understand, and I think they'll be looking to roll with JJ McCarthy going forward.
I mean, I think you look at the Tennessee, they'll want to get a guy like Sam Darnold. You know, the Jets, they might want a reunion with Sam Darnold. I don't know, but I don't know, man. I think Sam Darnold was probably like the third problem with this team that night. Like he was in like a list of the top 10 problems. He was like the third on the list. He deserves a large portion, but I'm more inclined to look at the fact that they were bracketing Justin Jefferson a lot of that game. The O-line was atrocious, and your play calling didn't accentuate you can't believe the mythology of your own season. You have to stay grounded in the moment. You can't be looking at Sam Darnold having a Cinderella season and now you start to really believe that he's the belle of the ball. That's not what you're supposed to do. Sam Darnold throwing 40 times a game didn't get you here. You leaned on Brian Flores and his genius, and you told Sam Darnold, don't make dumb mistakes. But when you have O-line play like that and you accentuate his weaknesses with 40-plus pass plays, I put those as the top two reasons why you get the third outcome, which is Sam Darnold looked like shit. But, poor Vikings, man. The Vikings always do this. They always have a really good season or a season that looks like, man, they could maybe do something. And there's always going to be a loud contingency of folk who think that it's just complete fraud. And they're always right for some reason, man. I wanted to believe in this team getting to the second round. But, yeah, man, you got to hope that McCarthy is the guy.
Not as much as Justin Jefferson, boy. He was hoping that Sam Darnold would do. My thing is, again, like we've seen here, we've seen this time and time again. Like you said, I'm not really want to talk about Sam Darnold because we all knew what he was going into the season. But he did make himself some money, so I'll give him credit for that. My main thing is I hated the chatter as far as going up to this point. People were talking about trade JJ McCarthy, have Sam Darnold. I was like, bro, what the fuck is going? The thing that the Vikings should do is tag Sam Darnold, see what it, because JJ Hurts, I think his rehab isn't going so well. So I
thought it was going good. They said
I thought he kind of re-injured himself a little bit, but I would still give him time to see if he can come back. Maybe you start Sam the first 2 weeks of the season. But if you could do this with Sam Darnold, you could do this with Kirk Cousins as far as KOC. Exactly. Like if you could do that with those two quarterbacks, I think JJ has a chance. Now, as far as the second question, we got to start talking about Sean McVay more. Ken, I don't talk about a lot of white men on this program, but the one I do talk about, he so happily ended my title run for Cincinnati. But he's been – outside of one season, I believe he's been a very consistent coach as far as getting his team to the playoffs with guys that we don't even know, to be honest. He turned Puka Nacua into a household name. They over here talking about Hakuna Matata over there on the West Coast. So to me, it's like and Cooper Kupp has fallen off a cliff, in my opinion, but they still producing on offense. That defense showed out against the Vikings. Like again, a lot of names that are young guys. Sean McVay's an old school guy, so he still runs the ball. He got Kerryon Williams, who's an underrated running back. If he was in fantasy football, you would know that if you had him on your team, he produces. We got to give Sean McVay his flowers. He always has his team. They almost beat Detroit last year in the playoffs. So I would be very fearful if I was Philly, because that first drive that he had, they was throwing darts against a great Brian Flores defense. That defense was great all season long. And they went up and down that field on them. So to me, Philly has a lot. Granted, it's on the road. It's in a cold weather city. They're not in a dome, or they're not on the West Coast in warm weather. I'll be curious to see that, but that offense is humming.
Yeah. Hey, Minnesota can blame Dan Campbell for that loss, because he telling McDonald, see you in 2 weeks. So him saying that was bulletin board material for the Rams, and they used it and came out and proved that theory to be wrong. So that's who they can fault for that. He ain't had no business saying that.
Yeah, I definitely think Sean McVay probably deserves to get a little bit more credit. And I was thinking about this earlier today when I was going over my picks and even watching the game, because they traded away the house to win a Super Bowl and got it. And yet they're still competing for at least making it to the playoffs with just pieces. And guys,
they won a division. They won a division.
Yeah.
Jared Verse was their first pick since trading all of the picks. And that dude, 6'4", 260. You see how he was moving? When they said how big I said, bro, these NFL players, like that's legit. Look, I agree with you, man. Like they've been able to draft, even though they gave away the house. Plug. Hey, this is a second round pick, third round pick, whatever. They are solid. They have a foundation. And now that they're going to have their own picks moving forward, my thing is this, Ken, moving forward, we don't know how many more years Matt Stafford has at an elite level. So how do they replace him? And one other thing I wanted to say too, Shelton, you know when Dan Campbell said that to KOC, you know what it mentally where my mind went?
What was that?
When LeBron tapped Gilbert Arenas on the shoulder.
Missed
him. And that's what happened. What happened.
Man, Nick got on him about that too on that show. That was crazy. I had to send you that clip, but he did this. He talked about that too, that tap on the shoulder. But yeah, that's what that was.
All right. Well, that's what we got. We even snuck in some Denver talk earlier. Because they were trying to let Sean Payton get off the hook. Nick, you don't know what you're doing.
It was only based off of we only had a few topics to talk about, but there was nothing to come away from that. We all knew that game played out like everybody thought it would.
Except people now. No, people thought it was over with.
Nah, not at all. I didn't pick Denver to win, so it's not like I picked them to win.
What people did was he watched that first 5 minutes of the game and cut it off. He turned the TV
off. That's exactly where we are. We are on our picks for the divisional round. So I hand it over to you, brother.
All right. Well, since the regular season is over, we are going into the playoff week or second round of the playoffs. With this past week, as far as the picks going forward, Ken actually, for all the 6 playoff games, had the best record at 5-1. Tied for second was between me and FIFO with 4-2. And then tied for the doghouse was Spike and Shelton. Shelton always picking the favorites. That's why he's going to be fucking up in these playoffs, because it's the playoffs,
hey,
Shelton.
Nick, you know what they look like? Like Dak Prescott and Jaylen Hurts over there.
So Jaylen winning.
So we're going to see. We're going to see what these how this goes moving forward. But yeah, those are the results for this week. We're going into the divisional round, and we'll start off with, I think this is probably the best divisional round we've had. I think it makes up for last year, because these are some really great games. But let's start off with Houston going to Kansas City. This is a rematch of what happened this season. Most of these games are kind of like rematches as well. It's funny that. But yeah, we got Houston going to Kansas City. Everybody picking Kansas City. Can someone make a?
I would be distraught.
Can you make a case for Houston? Can anybody make a case for Houston?
Hey man,
there's no.
Kansas
case.
City is 6-0 with this referee crew that's going to be doing this game too. So
that's
enough said right there.
My thing with this, here's the thing I'll say about Houston. I know Doghouse gonna talk about hella shit. It's the way they start games. It's kind of like what they said about the Packers too. Like against that Chargers team, if that Chargers team had any sense of offense, that's a blowout in my opinion, and they don't have a chance to come back.
Mm-hmm.
But it's again, we gave credit for DeMeco Ryans. He's done a great job as a first or second year head coach. Been to the playoffs twice, won the division twice, won both games in his wildcard round. But my thing is, like, starting off games, you look at the offense and it doesn't look good at all. Like, it looks very stagnant. So against Kansas City all year long has not cracked 30 points. They need to put points on the board. The same way that I said that for Washington to beat Detroit, it's the same way the Texans got to beat Kansas City. You just got to outscore them. Offensively, they have the better weapons. They got the better running back, in my opinion. They got Nico Collins, who's better than any wide receiver they got, even with D-Hop. Obviously, I think I'll give the edge to Kansas City with a tight end because they got a Hall of Famer there, but he's old as well. The Texans got to come out hot. If they only can muster up 7 points in the first half like they did in this past game, they're going to be out of there. And granted, KC has a great defense as well, probably as good, if not better than the Chargers. So we'll see. That's the only case I can make.
The biggest case for the Texans is you're going to have to get Joe Mixon going early, and you're going to have to control that clock. You need to keep Patty on the sidelines. The best way to stop him is keep him on the sidelines. But it's going to be tough.
But KC got the best run game defense, I think. Or
that's what I'm saying. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. You just got to get you got to get him going early, and when you do throw the ball, get the ball out of CJ's hands quickly, and that's your formula: is controlling the clock. Keep the game short. You got to shorten this game.
Nick, would you be surprised, even though that the Chiefs have not scored 30 points all year? When I heard that stat, I was like, yo, this is fucking crazy. And they're 15-1. It just don't make no sense. But either way, would you be surprised if they score 40? Like, nobody. We're just waiting for that offensive explosion. And you're talking about, damn near, Travis Kelce being old. He has turned it up as the season has gone along. He's older, bro. Like he can't ball out the whole season plus the playoffs no more. But when you needed him, he turned on the light switch, and he don't look like young Kelce. He looked like old Kelce. But he's a guy.
Granted, I agree with that. It's just the same reason also that I picked the Packers over the Philly was that rust. You know what I'm saying? He's an older guy, so it may take him a little bit longer to kind of like get into the rhythm. They haven't played football in what, like
3 weeks?
3 weeks?
Mm-hmm. Almost a month.
Like, I know, granted, Andy Reid off of bye, they always talk about it, but like, if this is the time to get the Chiefs, this is the time to get the Chiefs.
But it won't be the Texans. See, like if we were talking a different AFC team, like if they had to play the Ravens right now, oh shit, I'm gonna pick the Ravens, because what you're saying, I don't disagree. But the Texans aren't ready to make that jump against
don't tell Doghouse that. Don't tell Doghouse that.
Well, you look, you obviously picked the Chiefs.
I'm going. You know what I say, FIFA. When in doubt, pick the better quarterback.
Okay. But is this even a doubt? Anybody else had a doubt in this matchup?
The doubt that I have is rust. I don't know how rusty Kansas City is coming.
I'm not worried about that.
Nah, they good.
Because we're talking about veterans. We're not talking like young veterans, right? Like, guys 2-3 years in. Now we're talking. How many years Pat Mahomes damn near 30 now, bro. Like Pat Mahomes has been playing almost a decade.
If this is close in the third or fourth quarter, I will be shocked.
Well, that's on the thing.
Their games been close anyway this year.
All year.
But it's the playoffs. I agree.
So yep. Y'all are right. I understand what y'all saying. They've been doing the same thing all throughout the season. Close games. If this is close in the third or fourth quarter, I'll be shocked.
Yeah, it's playoffs, so it shouldn't be close.
All right. Up next, we have this is another Saturday night game. We have Washington going into Detroit. B may be watching this game. Sheldon, no, he may be trying to lie to us.
He watching this game, Nick.
Oh, somebody pick Washington.
There you go, Nick.
Crazy.
Nick.
Hey, Lou, I'm a gambling man. You know what I'm saying? I've been sipping all night. I'm pushing my chips in on the Jayden Daniels hype trade.
I'm with you though. Dude.
I don't want to. I hate picking this because I fuck with B, and I want Detroit to do well. But I'm just going off of that, bro. Ken, that defense. Granted, everybody think the defense is cleared up because of what they did to the Vikings. When we looked at that game, if you watched the all 22, Sam Darnold had 3 touchdowns that he missed up. That I don't think Jayden Daniels gonna miss. You know what I'm saying? So I don't trust this defense. They've lost more players than anybody on their defense as the season has gone along. And the Washington Commanders have gained more confidence as the season's gone along. They have a perfect mix of young talent and vets. I don't expect this to be the only way I see them winning is a shootout, but obviously Jayden Daniels is a rookie, so I don't know what can happen, but I'm pushing my chips on Jayden Daniels just because this seems like a magical year for the Commanders, and I don't trust that Detroit defense.
They have
against a running quarterback at that too.
They have nothing to lose. So they play with house money.
My thing is this: we saw what Aaron Glenn did the last week against Sam Darnold, and I'm not saying that is what you do against Jayden Daniels, but it's hard for me to believe that the team that has looked as dominant as the Lions, that have won in a myriad of ways throughout the season, that they're going to lose to this Commander team. You know what I'm saying? Like I just. In my head, it don't play out that way. Now, I everything you said, Nick, I agree. Like, this is a magical season. If they win, can they win? Yes, because they are that explosive. And I think they could put up 40 points up against damn near anybody. But the way the Lions are playing, the way that the city is behind them, it's just too much momentum that is not football related. You know what I'm saying? That I don't see the Commanders overcoming it.
I agree with people. I think the Lions will win just based off everything that I've seen this season, but I wouldn't be surprised if Jayden Daniels did his fucking thing in this game and won this for them. I wouldn't be shocked. It's not a thing that would shock me, but I do think the Lions have a better team, a better coach, a better overall team, and they will win this game. But if Jayden Daniels came out and did this thing, I would be elated to see that.
Ken, what you think? You over here pondering on some shit. I don't know if you think so.
I'm not, man. Motown, bro. I'm going with Detroit. I'm supporting my boy B, and yeah, I think it might end for Washington. I mean, they struggled against the Bucks, and you could say the Bucks have a better defense. I wouldn't disagree, but they got to put numbers on the board. The Commanders can do that too, but. You know, it's gonna be if it turns into a shootout. I'm going with the Lions over a rookie.
You don't think Goff gonna get back to golfing?
No. He knows his offense. Yeah, he knows his offense
too well.
Okay.
The Sunday games, probably the best games of the week for the playoffs. We got the Los Angeles Rams going on the road to Philly. They going to the Link. And that people, what did I say? What did I say earlier, bro? When in doubt,
LA picks.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
When in doubt, go with the better quarterback, bro. Again, I'm Team Sean McVay, bro. That's where I'm gonna leave it at. And Matthew Stafford throwing darts, bro. Yeah. And again, losing what's his name, the linebacker that they had, Philly. Yeah, they losing him, and then seeing how just off the Philly offense still looks, even with Saquon. Granted, the best thing they can do is run the ball, but if LA just focuses on, my thing is like with LA, they just gotta run, they gotta stack the box. Let Jayden Hurts, like, let's play. I know it sounds crazy playing one-on-one or whatever, because that's what they do.
Yeah, that's insane.
But if you
AJ Brown had 100 yards on him last game.
That's last game. That's
regular season. Saquon had 255.
Right.
I'm just saying. Well, that's the thing. If you limit Saquon and make Jaylen Hurts has to throw the ball. That's how you win the game.
He did it in the last game.
He did, and you're playing outside.
That's what I'm saying. You have to force, because outside favors the Eagles.
No. I'm talking about you. Yeah, you playing in the elements, which LA ain't got to come in the cold.
LA ain't scared.
Nick, they're not. Super Bowl winning quarterback, Super Bowl winning coach. I thought about this only because of the injury to Nakobe Dean. I even went back and looked at game film, from the last matchup. I saw that Saquon had 2 70-yard runs, that really helped them win this game. But I also saw Jaylen put up some passing yards on them too. And I think that whatever book A.J. Brown was reading, it's going to manifest itself on the field. So, and yeah, Stafford looks great, but this Rams offense struggled down the stretch of the regular season.
Well, I agree with that to a certain extent, but that defense has turned up. At the end, they've allowed 10 points or less over the last few weeks. Like this defense ain't playing around either. And these are against some teams that have like high power players, high power offenses. So I'm going off of who's the better head coach, Lou? Who's the better quarterback?
Okay.
McVay is the best head coach.
Who's the better quarterback? Stafford easily. They both are Super Bowl winning. Yeah, they both are Super Bowl winning.
Yeah, but the Eagles have the better roster.
Yeah, you look at everything on that roster. It's not even close.
Shelton, we've seen playoff games where the best team don't win.
They're not playing up to their potential, Ken. And that's the issue that I have with the Eagles, and that's the reason why I picked the Rams. The Eagles are not playing up to their potential.
They had two backup quarterbacks come in and still won.
The Eagles should have demolished in that last. They should have won like 45-12.
Jaylen was rusty.
Fuck out of here with all
he
that.
He missed 2
Jaylen
games.
Been rusty. He been rusty for
his
the
whole career. Fuck that.
Yeah,
Spike his whole career. We know he's not a passer.
That nigga been rusty.
Ken,
he's not but he also knows the offense and
he can do whatever they need him to do,
and he'll take off running whenever he needs to.
But
he hasn't been.
Whenever they need points, he puts.
You co-signing with him, Ken, and you're making it seem like this bullshit that he's floating is good. He's not good as far as whatever his career he's been doing. Like, no, Jaylen has been subpar for all of his career. And do we expect him to be able to win being subpar against somebody like
Spike
Stafford?
No, Spike. Let me ask you a question. Have we not seen quarterbacks win Super Bowls and advance far in the playoffs in the past when everything else is around them good?
Yes,
why can't it happen in this time?
I don't think Jaylen Hurts can do that. I don't think he can do that.
He's
playing a better quarterback, a better coach, and I don't think that he's going to be able to overcome that.
This team is better, bro.
Lou, didn't he beat the same quarterback and coach last time with players that were healthy
in the regular season?
My thing is this. The last thing
on the road too.
Before we get to the next game, no disrespect, but LA's playing with fire in their belly. You know what I'm saying? they got the whole state behind them. So they got
this some 9/11 shit, Nick.
Yeah, this is some motivation shit where it's like, nah, nigga, we not going home without the dub. You know what I'm saying? Like Philly playing. To me, Philly is uninterested until the Super Bowl or like NFC title game. They just going to be coasting until they get to that point. And that's when I feel like they're trying to turn on because they feel like they're that good enough talent wise that they just going to beat teams just doing whatever. That's why you got AJ Brown. That's why you got AJ Brown just sitting on the bench reading a book because he can give a fuck.
The only reason I feel y'all on what you're saying. I'm not going to trip too hard off that. But when you look at Philly's fire, they got the same fire. And I'm gonna tell you where you can see it. If you go back and watch that game and watching them boys hitting for Fangio, them dudes trying to take people out. And you saw how many of them players went down for Green Bay. Them wasn't false injuries. Those was I'm gonna knock your ass out injuries. And that's the type of football Philly's playing. They're playing some hard-nosed, tough football. And Fangio gonna have that defense ready. They're gonna be all over them dudes, man. And they hitting hard.
Because all them Packers that got hurt was all on clean hits.
Yeah, it was all hits.
It was all on clean hits.
Yeah, those were not fluke injuries. They was hitting. That was like, I'm gonna knock your ass out. And that was just a tough team manning up. And then another thing too is the Rams. What's their title? Higbee was the leading receiver in the last game. He went to the hospital after that game with chest injuries, which people aren't talking about. And he was the leading receiver in that game. by the way, and they lost their top corner with a hamstring. So they're coming into it a little banged up, which, you know, you can be the next man up, but still they got a few injuries to deal with as well. So it's looking, you know, Philly has won.
Well, last
Which
game.
is a big one, though. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Doc, you got something to say?
Let me say something real quick. Jaylen Hurts.
Doc here?
Yeah, Jaylen Hurts has yet to really beat a quarterback in the playoffs. Like a quarterback of like Matthew Stafford stature. Like he beat Daniel Jones and they had nobody against San Fran when he went to the Super Bowl. And the year before that, he played Tom Brady and he looked good in that game. So this would be his chance, his opportunity to at least go against like a real competing quarterback and show that he had that caliber. If he loses this game, it's over.
I can't wait. Thank you, Doc.
I got you.
But we got
wait to see how this play out.
Well, the team is far better now this time around too.
Yeah, and Lou, we don't. You will have time to watch because Dallas will be nowhere in sight. So you ain't got nothing but time.
Moving on.
Dallas ain't got shit to do with this.
That is a good point.
Moving on to the last, and we're gonna talk about Dallas next week. Moving on to the last game, we have we have the Baltimore Ravens going against the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. Obviously, you can see this is a black podcast.
This is we all black though.
We black on this, on this game.
Nobody would have been able to say I'm rooting for Josh Allen in this game.
I will say this. This to me is like how we talked about, similar to the Vikings in their regular season. And I'm not saying that based off their quarterback because we know Josh Allen is great. I'm saying it's about the team overall. This Bills team is really a flawed team, if we're gonna be honest, defensively, because they got busted 30. The one thing that they're weakest against is the pass and the run. Denver Broncos,
everything, ain't it?
I was gonna say what? I was gonna say, as I said it, as you can know, I'm drinking, so bear with me. But I'm just saying, like that Denver's game, they was moving the ball, running the ball. So with what's his name? Some random ass niggas that you ain't give a fuck about.
Yeah,
you put Derrick Henry back there. We already seen this is gonna be Back to the Future Part 2, Ken. Like they about to have a lot of stuff. Marty McFly's running through the whole thing. I don't see how the Bills defense covers Lamar or Derrick Henry. Granted, Zay Flowers may or not play. Either way, they proved last game that doesn't matter. I honestly don't think this is close, bro. I think this is another 28-14 type of game.
That's crazy.
I don't know. I think this is gonna be a shootout. It's gonna be fun to watch. This is gonna be this like watching the Super Bowl to me, because these teams, man, you got the two MVPs going at it. Like this is your MVP matchup.
We only saying that because of the name. We're not saying that because of the game.
The only reason I'm saying the niggas because you got two quarterbacks.
This is going to be one of the. I feel like one of the most memorable matchups that we've had amongst these two QBs, and the reason because we're black, all of us chose Lamar Jackson is we want him to win. It's like boxing matchup. I know, Nick, you listened to Bomani Jones is talking about all of the
this big fight.
Yeah, this is a fight. It's like when the Mexicans fight the black people, like we rooting for the black people. It ain't no racist shit they got to do with any of this. It's just we hope that Lamar Jackson is going to do his thing in the sense of how we see him as a quarterback.
Luke,
I was
gonna say, Lou, I'll say this to you, bro, because we watched this fight together last time I was in Atlanta. You know what this remind me of? Bud Crawford, Earl Spence.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that.
I got you, Nick. Yeah.
Everybody came in gassing something the other nigga, and then we said
because I was wrong.
I don't think it's gonna be that, but I agree with your point.
No one thought it was gonna be that, Lou, until we
nobody did. Nobody did to that bell rung.
And I hope it's not that. I hope it's
Nick,
not that, though.
It's definitely not gonna be that, because here's the thing, right? And Nick knows where this line of wording that I'm going to use comes from. If Josh Allen and the Bills win this game, it's because they earned everything. Nothing's going to be given, right? I think this is going to definitely be a shootout. Josh Allen is doing the most in the league with the least amount of help that there is, and that's his case for MVP. Lamar's case for MVP is Well, I won 2 of them, and I'm playing even better than I was back then. So how the hell can I not win the MVP? And we have 2 juggernauts playing at the tip top of their game. But if Josh is going to win it, he's going to have to earn it. It's not going to be given to him. He's going to have to play damn near a perfect game. He's going to have to throw 3, 4, 5 touchdowns. He's going to have to run for like 80-some yards. Like, he's going to literally have to put on the cape and be like, I am better than everybody else on this field. But we know on the other side, there's a guy that can literally match him with everything that he does. So this is going to be a heavyweight match. I think this is going to be arguably even better than the Super Bowl, in my opinion, from the fireworks that we see.
Yeah.
So we hyping the fuck out of this game, bro. I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, y'all really are.
Nick, the only reason I'm saying that is because
stop that, Ken. Everybody is hyping the fuck out of this game.
Because we've seen it. We've seen like the Bills play excellent this past Sunday. I mean, even though it was, Denver. I mean, they still look good, and
they always play excellent because they always have
the game. But regardless of what y'all are saying, this is the game everybody is tuning into.
Yeah, you got 100. Yeah, regardless, it's the
Sunday,
2 MVPs.
This is the game that everybody wants them to pay attention to.
Yeah, because amongst quarterbacks. Hold on real quick, Shut up. Right. Amongst quarterbacks, who's playing better than them 2?
Nobody. They are the MVPs.
This is 1 and 2.
This is Larry Bird versus Magic Johnson.
That's 100%. That's a good comp.
100%.
This is again.
That's what I'm saying.
Because I don't understand how y'all saying this when we literally Shelton. You keep bringing up regular season, right? In the regular season, we see this team get dusted. Yeah, and then on top of that
ain't got shit to do with it. This is the most important game for both of these dudes' careers.
Listen, when the reason why Josh Allen is even in the MVP race is because everybody coming into the season said he has nobody that he got on that roster. Even though James Cook is a good running back, they said he throwing at nobodies. He got to do everything. So you're telling me that a team like that going against a team like the Ravens, who basically got everything that you would want, except maybe a top 1 wide receiver, but they don't need it. You think this is going to be a close game?
I ain't saying
whoever loses this game, the quarterback is going to ask questions to answer.
Like, how people are looking at this game, it's damn near like 85 Lakers versus Celtics, Larry Bird versus Magic Johnson. The black people are rooting for Lamar Jackson. The white people are rooting for I don't even know his name.
Hey, y'all know how you know how crazy it would be.
That's how it's happening.
You know how crazy it would be though if Washington and Philly and Baltimore and Kansas City win. You know the significance of that. You'd have 3.5 black quarterbacks playing for the Super Bowl. That would be amazing.
3.5 is crazy.
Yeah, 3.5.
No, but to the point of what Nick and Ken are saying, like, people look at this like black versus white.
Yeah, that's fine. Again, that's why I said this game is only hype out off of name, not game. If you look at these rosters, bro,
it's name and game.
Why are you saying you don't? Because why are you saying you don't think it's
because how are we gonna talk about the Rams and Philly and that basically being like, oh yeah, Philly's heavily favored because they got the better roster, even though
fuck them.
No, I'm just saying, like, how can we say make logic sense with that game and then look at this game based off of roster alone? We're picking so many Ravens before we get to the Bills outside of quarterback.
Well,
Bills got a better record.
Go ahead, Shad.
No, I was just gonna say the Bills got a better record though. That's the only thing. So you got to look at it that way too. So when
they play head to head, that don't matter. If we play head to head,
it was earlier on. But go ahead. What you say, Ken?
So was the Eagles Rams game early on in the season, nigga. You still
didn't the Bills beat the Ravens?
They did. No, the Ravens beat the Bills 35-10.
Okay,
but that was in week 5.
It's different, Ken. Don't try to slide it in there, Ken. Like it's the same thing.
That was week different. 5.
This is like Muhammad Ali versus Jack Dempsey.
Yeah, the Eagles beat
white
Rams.
versus black.
Eagles beat the Rams in week 11. Nick.
Okay,
like this is white versus
this is going to be a blowout in favor of the Ravens. Who believes? You think it's going to be a blowout?
I think it's going to be 20. I think at 28-14.
I got the Ravens, but no blowout.
Nah, they're going to score more than that. Both teams going to score more than that.
28-14 at best.
This is going to be a high-scoring game, I think.
We said that earlier this season too, Sheldon, when they played. How that turned out.
I say 28-34 Ravens.
Well, anyway, that I guess that's that. But it's in Buffalo, so we'll see how it go. But yeah, I mean, this playoffs, they got Derrick Henry, they can control the clock, and they made some changes on the defense. I heard them talking about that has drastically improved them since they played. So that's why I like the Ravens in this one. Let's get to our super chats. Meant to put this one up earlier. Sorry to bring this back around, but Rayshawn Davis said Jaylen Hurts is trash. I moved to Spike side. He can't see the field well. All right.
Shout to him.
Stephen A. Smith,
Right.
is LaVar BBB Ball officially father of the century?
Yes,
Who you
sir.
got between Bud and Canelo, and what y'all think of his back and forth with Tank?
LaVar is actually father of the century, man. I give him so many props, and I always have, because he elevated those guys to a mark that I didn't think he could do. I mean, I thought it was going to be some old mess, but it turned out that he got
What are we celebrating him for, Shelton?
because he got a $200 million son, he got a $100 million son, and he got another son that's making almost 20.
Talk that shit, Shelton.
That's it. You can't
One of
ask
the
for
biggest
no more than
con
that, Nick.
artists of the century.
Yeah, you
Take
can't
his hand
ask
off
for
your
no- he's
face,
not-
Nick.
Ozzy
Exactly.
a con, Ken.
Stop that. Stop that, Ken.
He told
Exactly.
y'all. He told y'all, and I told y'all that the youngest was gonna be the best. That's
He said
facts.
that, and he did.
That's facts.
Facts.
Yes.
What?
He did
Yes,
what
Nick.
he
Watch
said he
that.
was
He's
going
balling.
to
What is
do. Shout out to the ball people.
What is he
Nick,
best
he's
at?
balling.
What is he best at?
He's
He's
arguably the
market.
best
He's
guard
got-
in the East right now.
Market.
He got the top votes in
He's
the
not. No,
All-Star
he's
game.
not. First of all, don't act like Jalen Brunson ain't in the East.
Who got the most
Bro,
votes in
Jalen
the All-Star
Brunson this
game?
year.
Okay.
He better than Brun this year. What's we
Okay.
talking
Who
about?
got the most votes
He
in the
scored 50.
All-Star
He
game?
scored 55 points in
Bro,
the
LaVar
season.
just told y'all a bill of goods, bro.
LaMelo
Hey,
is arguably the
even
best
if you
guard
did,
in the
Ken,
East.
it's a
Y'all
good
are
one.
crazy.
It's a good one.
Y'all
But
talking
to
about-
answer that
Ken and
second
Nick, y'all
question,
sound crazy.
to answer that second question, this Bud and Canelo fight. If you ain't watched the fight, you need to watch this fight. It's gonna be amazing. Give me Bud on the scorecard. You're gonna go to the scorecard. It's gonna be a decision, but give me Bud. Canelo's nice, but I think Bud's too quick for him, and he ain't gonna let him hit him. And this back and forth with Tank is crazy. I don't know if y'all been seeing it today, but Bud and Tank going back and forth. Everybody's begging for them to meet at 140. If they do, I think Bud will beat Tank up, but still at the same time,
Really?
they're going crazy on each other right now. They going crazy on each other right now. It's a mess.
Yep.
And it's about it's
Shout out.
it's about money. And
That's cool.
just
Shout
talking
out to the
trash.
ball brand. Shout out to the ball brand.
Yes.
Just so desperate.
That brand is overrated.
Shout out to the
Real.
ball brand.
Not the
For
merch,
Nick
but the
and
brand is
Ken,
strong.
Shout out to the ball brand.
Everything
not
about
even
that
close
brand
to
is
strong.
overrated.
Y'all are
LaMelo ain't
crazy,
that great.
bro.
Hey,
LaMelo
they
is
even.
amazing.
We seen it.
Lonzo
we seen
was
it just now, Nick. They
Lonzo's
got a
bum.
record deal. They got
Lonzo's not a bum.
Lonzo got hurt, Nick. Lonzo got hurt.
Lonzo's
He
not
got
a
his
bum.
money first.
and Leandro got the most overhyped record of the year.
Thank God, man.
Still got paid for
Jesus
it.
Christ.
Still got paid for it.
Just
wait, hold on. Ken, how would you feel if you got your boys to both make over $50 million?
Preach, FIFO. Preach.
You would feel like you are the father
Preach,
of the fucking
Yes.
century. What is you talking about?
FIFO, the question isn't how LaVar feels. The question is asking how do we feel if he's that
Ken,
guy? And I do not feel like he's that guy.
Ken, stop.
Father of the
You-
century,
you
y'all are
were-
crazy,
if
bro.
you were LaVar Ball, like he Ken,
No.
if you were able
I'm-
to get
No. Yeah, I don't think y'all heard or understood what I said. Of course, LaVar feels that way.
Right.
We feel like that because LaVar feels like that, and we're seeing
Why y'all
it.
feel like that because of LaVar? None of that shit in y'all fucking pockets. Jello is fucking trash. LaMelo is the only one that can fucking play, and Lonzo Ball was the bust at best. The man and the fucking merchandise merchandise was
Read the
fucking
question.
trash,
Hey,
and he
the
sold
merch-
a bunch of shoes that didn't
The
do
merch was
shit.
trash.
He's a
The merch was
fucking
trash.
con artist.
But the brand is
He done
the
made
brand is
$500
on
million
point.
with his sons.
Y'all,
Thank you.
that's
thank you, Sheldon.
bruh.
Ken,
Off
Ken
bullshit,
wouldn't deny
bro.
that.
Yeah, we
With
said
all
$500 million.
the
With
sons that you got, Ken, you wouldn't deny that if they did the same thing.
The Suns had to
$500 million.
earn it, Ken. All LaVar did was put the extra hot spotlight on him and say, "Hey,
Yep.
you got to
Preach,
do
Vivo.
something with this."
Preach.
All right, man. Let me move.
You gotta do something with that.
I
You
think
welcome.
Y'all got shit twisted, bro. Y'all is
Shit.
for real.
I wish I could.
Yeah,
Look,
yeah.
if I if I can elevate myself,
you
just
could.
to make
That's
$4
different.
million. What is
Yeah.
you talking about?
Yeah,
man?
and if I was a con artist out here selling, of course, con artists are happy conning people. What the fuck y'all think they're in the business for?
LaMelo averaging 37 and 6.
I said LaMelo was good.
what's
I
the-
didn't shit on. I didn't shit on LaMelo.
I got
Better
two
than
sons
Brun,
in the
nigga.
NBA.
Brunson averaging
Better than
25.
Brun.
No.
I got two sons in the
let's
NBA,
go.
and I got
let's,
one with a record deal.
Sheldon, let's be consistent with that. You were talking about translating the wins. What's the Hornets record?
Oh, they suck, man.
Who gives a
But
But I love my Hornets, though. I love
cares?
my
Who
Hornets.
He about to
It's
be
the
all
NBA,
NBA.
Nick.
He about
Nobody
to be
gives a
all
fuck
NBA.
about
He about to
the
be
winning
all-star.
percentage of the Hornets.
Hey, FIFO, Jamar Chase got a triple crown. Where he at right now?
Okay.
All right.
Paid.
Ken, what's the
about
next
to be
question?
paid.
LaMelo
Yeah.
hooping, boy.
Ken,
Keep
stop,
hooping,
Ken. What's the
LaMelo.
next question, bro? Stop.
Donovan Mason, guys, I know we need black coaches in the NFL, and he is great, but we also need called spades. Spades, that feels racist to me, by the way. It was time for Andy Reid, and it's time for Mike. Now it was time for Belichick. Belichick lost and was losing. I did not feel like I felt like they did Andy Reid dirty because Andy Reid was winning for that team.
But you can't get mad at the results when they fire Reed. They won a Super Bowl a couple years later. So it's like, hey,
It was
Philly
his
ain't-
time.
It was his time.
So
yeah.
I'm just saying I'm fairly consistent. I felt like they did Andy dirty.
And I put it in our chat. It's time for Mike Tomlin. Not saying he's bad, not saying he did a horrible job. It's just time. He's stuck in purgatory. And if I'm Mike Tomlin, I wouldn't want to stay.
That's the biggest thing
Yeah.
that got me. Is like, why the hell are you even still there, bro?
Bro, like y'all haven't got me a quarterback in 10 plus years since Ben Roethlisberger has gone to Spike's point. Bro, you know what? Can't no outside of Andy Reid, I put Sean McVay there. Can't nobody do what Mike Tomlin's doing.
Yeah.
Can't nobody else except for them two. Come on now. If I'm Mike Tomlin, hey, trade me. Go ahead and get you some first round picks or whatever.
Well, he already came out. He says, stop. He said, save your time.
I know. I don't get it, but okay.
But I will say the players did not play as hard as I thought they would have for a Mike Tomlin team. That's the only thing that gave me pause. Like maybe it's time for him to make a move. Just for that reason.
Hold on. Part of that shelter though, they don't believe in Russ, bro.
Yeah.
Which top seed is most likely to lose this week? Chiefs, Bills, Lions, or Eagles? We already kind of
Eagles.
Well, most likely though. I think
It's
we
Bills.
got our picks.
It's Bills.
Eagles.
Yeah, most likely it's Bills. For sure.
Bills. I'll give you that.
Eagles.
Okay. Rob Costa, I don't know if I read that. Shelton reading the page for AJ Brown's book.
I will.
Okay. Which is crazy. I knew that was going to go number one as soon as he said the title because it's the NFL and everybody's watching it. Blank 964. Imagine glazing the Super Bowl losing performance. Damn.
Sheldon, he talking to you. Talking about Jaylen Hurts.
Yeah.
Just in case you missed it.
No, I said it was the number two ranked performance ever.
Yes.
Why are we?
Yeah, he did. But he said that's glazing. But anyway, why are we arguing for 39 yards LMAO? What was that about?
Jaylen Hurts too for 39 yards.
Hurts.
That wasn't my argument.
39 yards.
My argument was
that's an insane stat.
That is low. That is low.
There is no argument, nigga.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wasn't arguing with Jaylen Hurts.
There is no argument.
I was arguing that Q as an Eagles fan need to celebrate wins.
Fuck,
that's what you must don't know a lot of Eagles fans.
Yeah, exactly. That's what
I know the ones.
Keep reading, kid. Get
I'll
this
show you
nigga the fuck
some.
out of here, man.
Need Ghostbusters for Darnold. And last one, Tomlin Black Rivers of NFL coaches, Peyton White Rivers of NFL coaches, giving niggas flowers on Tomlin.
Hey, this is
Peyton Nick.
This is the thing. Again, that's why I said show. I started off. I was like, bro, I had a great weekend, bro. I saw Tomlin and Peyton lose. Niggas thought Peyton was going.
Hey, that's how it be for real. When your team lose, you just want the people you hate to lose too.
And again, I don't even care about Bo Nix. Y'all know how I feel about Bo Nix. I told you his ceiling is his floor.
Yeah.
Sean Payton deserves all that credit for that loss because if you conduct that offense to only score 7 points in a 60-minute game, come on.
That's funny. Hey, real quick, Ken, they showed they were showing like the NFL comp for Carson Beck. They were showing his, he's the highest paid college athlete ever. I didn't know that.
Really?
He got $4 million to play in Miami.
but they were saying
base salary. It's going off a base salary. Ain't going off a signing bonus.
His NFL comp, his ceiling is Daniel Jones and his floor is Will Levis. I was like, I ain't never seen nothing like that in my life, but that's exactly what they said about it.
That's crazy. Last thing, breaking news. Drake dropped the petition.
He did?
What's that?
I should have said breaking lose.
The lawsuit that he had.
Yeah, the lawsuit against UMG. And man, we're gonna talk about it tomorrow because I got so much to say right now.
Bruh.
Oh man.
Bruh.
Hey, man.
I might need to join y'all for that.
Hey, bro, you know what we'll be? We'll be here, man.
Make sure it's early, Ken, because
man,
if you do it,
he dropped it because he reached an agreement.
If y'all gonna let Spike join, do it for 7:30 because 7:30 Spike through.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, yeah. So anyway, so that's where we are. So we'll leave it there, man. We'll catch you guys next time. We out. Peace.
Peace.